What's up, chat? Oh, dang, just dropped my phone. Whoops. How's everybody doing? I honestly meant to get this stream out like 2 hours ago, but I fell asleep for a little while. I just genuinely fell asleep. Bromus, what's up? Snailium, how you doing? Josiah, Tano, how you guys doing? Kona, what's up? Hopefully people tune in for the debate portion of this stream today. It is a bit later than I wanted it to be, but I mean, back when I was streaming, like doing these kinds of streams every night, this was kind of the time I would always stream anyway. So I think there will still be some people who are able to come through for the debate portion. Hoping so, because this is actually a very fun topic to just discuss when it comes to like One Piece power scaling, is like how fast the characters actually are. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. How's everyone doing though? Doing pretty good? Are you guys able to hear me? Is the audio coming through? Bro, I love you. That's funny. Thanks, bro. Right, I don't even know if that's your username or if that was what you typed. More ruined sleep, let's do it. Yeah, maybe I should get back into just doing like these kind of streams every night. I might need to. Audio sounds good. That's good to hear. Sick, that's good to hear. But please, still, no one of the One Piece characters can turn on the earth in 5 seconds. Audio is crisp as this chicken you're munching on. That's good to hear, bro. My cat's over here trying to box me as I do the stream. Well, you gotta get out of here, bro. Here, hold on. I got these treats for her by my side. Let me give her some of these. Maybe she'll chill out. Give me 1 second, chat. This will give people a chance to hop in. But yeah, today we're going to go in detail about how fast the One Piece characters are. So give me 1 second. Alright, chat, we're back. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, chat. So yeah, we're going in detail today about how fast One Piece characters are. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and get started. So... Okay, so like the big thing to keep in mind is that there's a big difference between reaction speed and travel speed. Like reaction speed is like how fast you can dodge something, whereas like travel speed is how fast you can like run from point A to point B. One Piece from really early on in pre-time skip until now has been pretty consistent with the fact that it's like comedically fast in terms of reaction speed, but their travel speed is not that impressive at all. It's actually very slow. Okay, this has been pretty consistent from like early pre-time skip all the way until now. And we have like really early on in pre-time skip characters performing insane speed feats. There's this speed feat with Zoro dodging light speed attacks, which is spoken about a lot in like power scaling debates and power scaling communities, stuff like that. It's this scene here in Thriller Bark where Zoro is near death in this scene. What's up, Tayshawn? Oh, the Marvel Tokon betas tonight? That's sick. I might have to cop that. But yeah, this is back in Thriller Bark Zoro's near death. He's so injured he can barely even stand up. You see that in the right hand panel. He's breathing hard just from like standing there. He's massively damaged, right? And yet he's dodging multiple light speed attacks. It's stated by Kuma that he's shooting pad cannons, like his air palm attack. It's air pressure deflected at the speed of light. That's what it says on the left hand panel. And then we see this near death Zoro who just got finished, like he got finished fighting Ors Jr. and Moria. He took a bunch of damage in that fight, nearly passed out multiple times, gets back up, and now he's fighting Kuma, and is still able to dodge these light speed attacks in this very damaged state. And then there's this scene here where Kuma is shooting like dozens of them, and this near-death Zoro, who can barely even stand up, is dodging dozens of them as well. So, I mean, from this scene alone, you can already say that, like, pre-time skip characters that are relative to near-death Zoro are already the speed of light and reaction speed, and that's, like, that's lowballing them a lot. You can make an argument that characters are far faster than this, but there's tons and tons of feats like this in One Piece. It's like, this isn't the only one. After this scene happens, Zoro then goes on to take this Ursura shock in the left-hand panel, where it's like destroying a large portion of this island. Zoro takes this attack to the face, stands back up and dodges a light speed attack like right in front of him. That's what this panel is on the right. It's a even more damaged Zoro. He's on his knees as Kuma charges up this light blast attack. And if you look in the second panel here, like the second panel in the middle, you see the light beam is literally traveling through the air. It's already traveling through the air before it hits Zoro, and he still manages to dodge it from like an injured position while he's on his knees. This is already like, it's multiple light speed type feats happening early on. Oh, dude, I got this air freshener that goes off every like 30 minutes. Forgot I put it in here. Hold on, let me move this. Yeah, I got this automatic air freshener. It straight up jump scares me sometimes. But okay. So yeah, this is Zoro. This is Zoro dodging a laser beam after it blasts through the air, and he's like on his knees. He dodges it like while it's traveling through the air. So that's another light speed feat, and this is an even more damaged Zoro than this one, who could barely even stand up. Okay. Another thing, these laser beams are stated to be Kizaru's laser. That's what this panel is saying. X Drake sees these laser beams and he says that's Kizaru's laser. He's talking about how Vegapunk recreated Kizaru's laser beam and gave this attack to the Pacifista. And then we see a bunch of characters dodge these light beams. So it's like, even if, I mean, these are already really strong light speed feats, I'm going to be completely honest with you, because Zoro's massively damaged while he's doing all of this. Like, for example, if this happened in Hunter x Hunter, I'm calling whoever does this light speed. Bare minimum. All right, but a bunch of other people do this. This isn't even a rare occasion. Like, One Piece characters dodge light beams all the time. Here's another example. This one's a bit more ambiguous. You don't even need to use this one. I just scrolled through Sabaody and found like 15 different examples of people reacting to light. So I was just kind of screenshotting them at random, not even worrying about it. There's this scene where a pacifista shoots a light beam at Law. And then in the next panel, Law's taken 0 damage. So either Law just tanked this attack to the chest and it did nothing, or he blocked it, or he used his Devil Fruit ability to dodge it. So if you don't want to, I mean, that happens, but you don't even need to use that. There's a bunch more. Here's another panel where Luffy dodges a light beam. Luffy dodges it thinking that it's going to be a shockwave, because they think that these pacifista are the same as the original Kuma they saw, who shot like air palm attacks. So Luffy thinks it's going to be an air palm, and then he dodges it last second, seeing that it's a light beam. Okay. There's more ridiculous ones. You can make an argument that Usopp is dodging them. You see in the left-hand panel, you got Usopp, Brook, and Frankie running away from light beams. But you don't even need to use these. This one is just more funny. but you literally see Usopp, Frankie, and Brook like avoiding these light beam attacks as well. And then the Straw Hats go on to get massively more powerful and stronger than they are in Sabaody. I put this panel here just showing like all of the Straw Hats were hitting one Pacifista with their strongest attacks. Every single one of them like combos together just to take down one Pacifista. But then post time skip, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji are all one-shotting it with like casual attacks. So it's like these guys get magnitude stronger than this, and they're already relative to the speed of light even back here. Momo, you gotta chill, bro. My cat just hopped on the mic cord. Hold on. Momo, you gotta move. You gotta move, bro. You gotta move. Sometimes she just hops on the mic cord and just flops on it, dude. Just don't want her to accidentally unplug the mic. Okay. So Hell Kite Jr., you said, bro, come on. Bro, come one. Wait, hold on. You said, bro, come one, come on now. He's saying Usopp is light speed and reaction timing. Come on. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to have an open debate to this. So you can join the debate if you have some counterpoints to the things I'm showing. But you don't even need to use this Usopp one. What I'm doing is I'm showing you there's actually like an abundance of evidence for One Piece characters being the speed of light. So much so that even like the weakest of the crew has feats where they're like running away from light attacks. Like that's just kind of how One Piece works. Their reaction speed's way faster than their travel speed. Their reaction speed is like comically fast, but there's a bunch more that have. Yo, Momo, you can't be doing this, bro. You can't be on the mic cord. Dude, she like thinks it's a toy. She's like trying to slap it. Can you guys still hear me? I hope you guys can still hear me. But yeah, there's just an abundance of scenes like this. Let's keep going. Here's another one where Luffy's dodging a light beam as well. Here's another one. It's just like there's actually just so many that it actually is just kind of ridiculous, bro. You don't have to say Usopp's light speed. The only reason I put that there is just to show you like light speed feats are so frequent in One Piece that even the fodder characters are like extremely fast. Okay. Okay, and now here's some scenes from just earlier in the series that you can talk about. This is where he's fighting in Luffy's fighting in the Davy back fights. Like this was right after. Wait, was this right after Water 7 or right before? I forget I think this was like before Water 7. So like right after Alabasta. Yeah, this was right after Alabasta. Luffy's fighting this dude who has slow beams. This one's a more debatable scene. I just threw this in here because it's actually kind of funny. I was reading this fight again and it stated that these slow beams, they shoot slowpoke photons and they reflect off of mirrors. So they have similar properties to like actual light. You don't even need to use these because there's so many other insane speed feats, but like you see Luffy dodging these slowpoke photons, and then there's this scene here where the dude he's fighting is like ricocheting the slowpoke beams off of multiple mirrors, and he's like attacking him with fists at the same time, and you just see Luffy dodging both of these. Bro, my cat is tripping. Momo, get away from the mic. Get away from it, bro. Bro, my cat, he's always trying to do something random or wild. But, yeah, this is also just another, like, comically fast scene you could use to debate them being the speed of light. These photons are bouncing off multiple mirrors, and Luffy's dodging these and fists at the same time. Okay, and then here's this panel here talking about devil fruits get stronger the more you train with them. So this is like a counter to people saying Kizaru's the speed of light. Well, what makes Kizaru special is that his travel speed's the speed of light, and devil fruits get stronger the more you train with them. So when Kizaru first got the fruit, let's say he was a baby with the light fruit, he would be light speed at that point. But Kizaru's had this fruit for potentially decades, climbed the ranks of the Marines with them. Now he's much stronger, so it would make him stronger and faster than light just by that alone. Then you add Haki on top, it gets even faster, and more powerful. And then he's also stated to accelerate like as he's traveling, so that's also more proof of him going faster than light. But I just wanted to throw that in there too. You get this statement from Shaki where she says that Rayleigh's about 100 times stronger than they were in Sabaody. You could make an argument that everyone who's relative to Rayleigh is 100 times faster than light. That's a debate point you can use. This is something you can use to scale Luffy to being massive, like significantly stronger than the Thriller Bark Zoro, who was already dodging light beams. I can leave that alone for now. It's not even really needed to be mentioned at the moment. And then here's some more scenes just showing you that, like, even in very early One Piece, even the the fodder characters are extremely fast. This is Nami reacting to a lightning attack. Nami in Skypiea. Bro, she said, but have you considered that every single light speed statement feat is an outlier? Because I don't think that they can be light speed. You know what? True, bro. I didn't think about that, but good point. But yeah, like, here's another one, like Nami, someone who's essentially considered to be a normal human being amongst the cast. She's, you said my evidence for them not being light speed, and you just put 3 emojis. That's funny. And then, yeah, there's this scene with Nami, like, one of the weakest, most baby members of the crew. In Skypiea, like chapter like 150, I don't even think we're in the 200s when she does this, like chapter like 150 is reacting to a lightning attack. Nami is doing that. So that's pretty crazy. Then you get these scenes with Luffy, which people don't really talk about this enough. Luffy has a gold sphere attached to his fist that's larger than he is. So it's weighing him down massively, right? Like, here's another panel of like how big the gold sphere is. It's like taller than Luffy is. Like, the diameter of this sphere is taller than Luffy, and Luffy's like, I think he's like 5'3", something like that. But anyway, this is a giant mass of gold. This would be extremely heavy in real life. Like, there's different calculations to how heavy this thing would actually be. There's some like the smallest calculations I've seen would say it's like 5 to 10 tons. Other calculations have it like dozens of tons. It's insanely heavy. Like, here's one calculation. If it was like a 3 foot by 3 foot cube, it would be around 16 tons, but that's smaller than what this sphere is. If you say that the sphere is a 5 foot diameter sphere, it would be 78,000 pounds. There's a bunch of different calculations for it, but it kind of ranges. Oh, yo, thanks for the donation, bro. I appreciate it. Snailium, you said for the One Piece streams. Thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot, bro. But yeah, there's different calculations for how heavy this thing would be. If you lowball it, it's like around 5 tons. If you highball it, some calculations are saying it's like dozens of tons. Let's just lowball it massively and just say it was 1 ton, even though it's not. It's definitely way heavier than 1 ton. But anyway, this is Luffy getting his fist slowed down massively, and still can throw a punch so fast that a man made of lightning says that it's fast, and then he just one-shots this dude. You could say that, like, it's too fast for this man made of lightning to dodge or react to it. He just gets clocked by it immediately. Okay. So I mean, it's just great. Like, the speed feats in One Piece are actually just kind of comically fast. And they've been happening since early pre-time skip. The argument I would make is that One Piece characters, I would put it like this. Even if I'm lowballing it, Luffy, base form, Enies Lobby, his reaction speed is the speed of light. Even if I'm lowballing it massively. I'm ignoring a lot of stuff. I'm ignoring like half the things I showed you. Lowballing him a lot. And we'll just say in Enies Lobby, base form Luffy is the speed of light. And then with the current chapters where Luffy is now, you could say he's on par with Rayleigh. I actually think he's stronger than Rayleigh. You could then say that he's 100 times faster than light. And that's not even that crazy of a thing to say, to be honest with you. Okay. But, yeah, we can do an open live stream debate on this. If anyone disagrees with what I'm saying and would like to debate the points I'm saying, then feel free to. Here's how you join the live stream debate. You go over to my YouTube channel, you click on posts, and then this most recent post I did, It's this one where it says our One Piece character's light speed. You click on the comments, you click on the comments, and then you click the pinned comment. The link there will take you to the debate. Okay, so now we're about to have this debate portion of the stream. Let's see, hold on. Oh man, my computer's chunking through resources. Let's go ahead and put this panel on the screen while we do this. Okay, and I'm gonna grab my other laptop, so I can see the chat while you guys are, while I'm like doing the debate. So hold on, let me grab my other laptop so I can actually see the chat. We're about to start the debate portion. Go ahead and hop into the debate tab if you want to join in this debate or disagree with anything I said. All right, give me 1 second here. Right. I'm opening up the stream on my other laptop so I can see your guys' comments. Oh yeah, thank you, Bromus. Bromus just put the debate link in the chat too. Thank you for doing that. But yeah, I'm about to hop into the Discord and start doing the debates there. Just give me 1 second. I want to see what you guys were saying in the chat too. My other computer's going kind of slow. Here, let me restart that. Open up Google. Go to the YouTubes. All right, there we go. And let me just click on the stream so I can see the stream from my other computer. And all right, I got it up. So yeah, we're about to start the debate portion. Before I start that, anyone in the YouTube live chat who disagrees with what I was saying, this is your chance to hop in the Discord and like debate over that. I'm just looking to see if there's anything in here. You said, can we stop adding normal humans to series with superhumans? Normal humans to series with superhumans? You mean like Nami? No data book references and One Piece data books. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that's about. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and start the debate portion. Let's see who's there today. Hopefully some people are here. Okay, yeah, we got a few people. Okay, 1 second. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sick. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Yeah, what are your thoughts on how fast One Piece characters are?
You know, because, like, here's the thing, right? I don't know if it's just, like, almost a media thing in general, right? Because the thing people point out is if you say, oh, One Piece characters are light speed, they'll be like, oh, Gazelle Man. Luffy couldn't catch up to freaking Gazelle Man. But, like, that's not even consistent in the series, because, like, even if the only speed feat used for Luffy is, like, him knowing shave, just shave should make him faster than a fucking gazelle.
Yeah, that's true. And, yeah, I think, honestly, I view that more as a plot point of them, like, not wanting Luffy to catch him immediately. Because, like, he has a lot of feats of him running faster than a gazelle could run anyway. But, I mean, the other thing you could just say is that travel speed is slower than reaction speed, but we've seen Luffy travel faster than that many times.
Yeah, I think I think it's just it's a media thing, right? And it's weird, like, in a fight sense, I think you could legitimately say that Luffy is as fast or faster than Light just based off of right at the start of post-time skip, he literally just, like, dodges lasers. And, like, to me, I feel like with the other stuff, like, you could say that's debatable, like, all the weird, like, the paw pad stuff and, like, Usopp dodging pacifista lasers. With that, I'm like, what was that supposed to be if not a speed feat for Luffy? That he literally dodged 3 lasers moving at the speed of light and called them slow. Like, what is that supposed to mean otherwise?
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is, like, I saw someone earlier today try and make a point on this because I was debating this earlier. Someone was saying, like, Well, actually, I don't even know if I should mention it. The point didn't really have a lot of like weight to it. He was basically saying, well, if the pre-time skip characters could dodge light and Luffy's dodging light post-time skip, does that mean Luffy didn't get any faster over the post-time skip? And I was telling him, no, just because they're both dodging something doesn't mean they're not dodging at like, it doesn't mean Luffy's not dodging far faster. But that was just like kind of a niche argument someone made earlier. But yeah, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. Like, the thing is, there's just a lot of insane speed feats all throughout One Piece. I think it's just kind of comically fast in terms of its reaction speed, just like comedically fast.
Yeah, and I think I think it works like this, really. When you get down to it fundamentally, people have pointed this out, like One Piece especially is a plot series. Like, people are going to move at the speed of plot. Like, if Luffy needs to be slower than a boat, he'll be slower than a boat. But then if he needs to be able to like intercept Kizaru moving as a laser beam, he can do that too.
Yeah, it does have moments like that, yeah. But I mean, for the most part, it kind of seems like you agree with what I'm saying. Like, they do have just straight up light speed feats like all throughout the series, even early on.
Yeah, I just think it's like a weird thing. It's almost like Western comics, right? Where like, you know, the Flash is like, everyone knows that the Flash has ridiculous speed feats, but then like literally a martial artist will somehow just like hit him with like a normal punch and knock him out. Like, it makes literally zero sense, but it just happens anyway.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I think like the reaction speed feats are pretty consistent. But it's like the travel speed feats are the ones that are all over the place. Like how fast they run somewhere. Like I see Lightpoint say, didn't Oda say Brooks the fastest in a race? Like, yeah, running speed is not the same thing as like how fast you can react to something. Like travel speed is like how fast you can run from point A to point B. I'm saying for One Piece characters, that's pretty slow. But their reaction speed, like how fast they can dodge something, that's been light speed since pre-time skip. That's pretty much like the argument I'm making. But yeah, it sounds like you pretty much agree with what I'm saying there, Anno. How about we see Mizuki? Mizuki, did you have anything you wanted to share?
Yeah, just that no data book ever speaks about them being light speed. And we usually always go off data books before going off character statements.
No, that's fair. I mean, what I would say to that is like most data books should be taken with a grain of salt because they're not, a lot of the times they're not even written by the actual author of the manga. They're more like additional information that like gives you deeper understanding. But I always view the manga, the source material itself, as like the more powerful, more important source. Because Oda himself is writing that, whereas like a lot of times data books are like written by assistants, or sometimes just like written by like a completely separate company, and then the author looks at it and it's like, oh yeah, I like it. But in this case, in the story of One Piece, there's just like a plethora of scenes where pre-time skip characters are doing like insane reaction speed feats. Like I think you said you finished Enies Lobby, right?
Yeah, I just finished it.
Yeah, so
great storytelling.
Oh yeah, it's very sick. It's cool that you're watching it for the first time right now. But even before that, in Skypiea, you see Nami reacts to lightning blasts. And Nami is fodder, as you know. She's just like basically a normal girl compared to the rest of the cast. And
yeah, but then you. No, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. What were you gonna say?
I was to say, well, then you have to go on like character intent, like. If you really think about it, were these characters moving at their maximum pace? And if they were, how come they couldn't get the job done when they could face off against people that were stronger than Nami? Say that clan, like the Skypiea clan, the ones that owned the Earth before the Skypieans did.
Wait, you're saying why couldn't Nami beat some other people?
No, like how come, like, you know, like, because the Skypieans, like, they were born, they were raised, they are naturally faster because of the environment that they lived in. Whereas Nami and the Straw Hats, they were significantly slowed down due to the elevation of like the air and like how less oxygen that they would get.
Well, it did seem like they adapted to being there pretty fast, but I mean, even if we use that, that means a nerfed Nami is faster than lightning. That was something I never even thought about. So I mean, that's actually even better. Like, that shows that One Piece characters are even faster than I said.
But that does show that narratively it's just fluff. Like, a lot of the time, like, narratively, you can say, like, these characters are moving at this pace, but at the end of the day, if Oda's not directly saying, like, these characters are at, like, this speed at this time, then aren't we just using headcanon?
No. I mean, it sounds like... No. I mean, if you're looking at a direct thing that the... Okay, so, like, I'm looking at a panel right now where Anil shoots a lightning blast at Nami, and she reacts to it before it hits her. So, like... How is that fluff when I'm just looking at the drawing Oda did?
Well, I mean, like, narratively, like, it's so hard to hear you say that Anil, the strongest guy at that time who could use precognition, basically, just got fodderized by a bimbo.
I mean, he didn't get fodderized. Like,
somebody say that, man.
She would.
Difficult.
She wouldn't be able to beat him. Like, she just reacted to like one of his attacks, and One Piece gets way stronger as you keep going. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, Anil's not even considered strong anymore.
Oh yeah, no, I would expect that. I would expect that, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's just so many feats of characters doing like insane fast speed feats. They're in reaction speed, like their ability to react and dodge things is very fast. And it's like, for example, if you're using One Piece in like a versus battle, right? Like if you want to do some kind of video like Luffy versus Meruem or Luffy versus someone from a different series, you have to use their best showings from both series. And it's like, for example, if a Hunter x Hunter character was doing this stuff, I would mention it. But for the most part, Hunter x Hunter characters are getting like blitzed by lightning speed attacks. Meanwhile, in One Piece, like, lightning is like not even considered fast to them.
Yeah, no, I get that point, but it's like when you start taking character statements like too seriously, it's kind of just like you shouldn't really do that. You should more or less take the author statements and I'm sorry, like even the data book statements have more concrete evidence because it is written and it is gathered by, like you said, assistants that work with Oda. I find that a lot more concrete than hearing, like Foxy saying, "Oh, my beams can move at photon speed." It's just like, that's Foxy. If Usopp said, "I'm moving at light speed," are you going to believe everything that Usopp said?
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need to use the Foxy speed feat one. Like, I mean, and you're also kind of ignoring the fact that, like, they bounce off mirrors the same way light does, too. But even if you ignore all that, like, it does have the properties of light. They're photons with similar properties to light, right? Like, that's proven by it bouncing off a mirror. But even if you ignore that, it's like there's so many other speed feats. Like, there's just actually a ton of them. It would be one thing if there was, like, here's the thing I would say. It's like, in most series, if there's a character who dodges a light beam, it's usually something like this character was amped in their like Super Saiyan 5 state. They're in the strongest they've ever been. They just got like some miracle drug making them stronger. And like they saw the light beam coming from like a mile away and then just narrowly dodged it. And then people are then debating, oh, this series might be light speed. It might not be. But in One Piece, you have the opposite. You have characters like near death in their weakest state, like almost 1,000 chapters ago, still dodging multiple light speed attacks. Like, there's just actually so much evidence for One Piece characters being the speed of light and reaction speed early on that it's like, it's almost comical, because like there's just so many of the feats that, like, if you say that they're all just outliers after a certain point, it's like, okay, then no one in fiction's light speed then, because it's like most series, if they have even half as many light speed feats as One Piece, people are like, oh, they're light speed for sure. Like in Naruto, There's a scene where Naruto dodges the light fang from Madara, and people are like, oh yeah, he's light speed for that. And it's
Yeah, but that was point blank.
yeah, but so are like half the things I showed today too. Like honestly, that's how is that any different than this panel with Zoro when he's like on his knees and a light beam is flying through the air like right in front of his face and he still dodges it while near death. It's like,
But you said that light beam was made out of air, compressed air, right? So how is that fictionally correct towards like light? That doesn't make sense to me.
no, I have there's more than one scene. Like I said, there's just so many scenes. There's more than one. So like the air pressure cannons were stated to fly at the speed of light. But the panel I'm talking about right now is when Zoro is like facing Kuma and Kuma shoots a light beam at him, not the air palm, an actual laser beam. And the laser beam's traveling through the air. It's like already in the air and then he just dodges it while he's near death.
Okay. That is something I'm seeing right here.
Yeah, so it's like there's just a lot of
I get.
oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying like with One Piece there's just a ton of light speed feats and then they become massively stronger than this. Like this is early on in the series and then he just becomes massively stronger.
I definitely get what you're saying. So let me get this straight. Like you're making a statement based off that all like One Piece characters post time skip, or is it pre time skip? Or is it both?
So I would say anyone who's like relative to Enies Lobby Luffy is like already relative to the speed of light in reaction speed, and then post time skip they get magnitudes stronger and faster than that.
Okay, but we're talking about reaction timing, right?
Yeah, they're
Not like actual travel speed.
no, just their reaction speed. Their travel speed is not that impressive.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that would break the entire narrative of the story anyway.
Yeah, their travel speed's not that fast.
All right. Yeah, I can't really argue about the reaction timing. Reaction timing has always been something that One Piece characters could do. I more or less always confused it with the precognition effect from Haki. You know, like if somebody can see into the future, then having the reaction speed of light wouldn't really matter, and it would probably be invalid because they can see so far in the future.
Yeah, and that's something that gets added on top of it. So it's like, Zoro's doing this and he does not have observation Haki when he's doing this feat. So it's showing you like just in terms of raw physical speed, he's already like relative to the speed of light, even near death and reaction speed. Then a lot of these characters get observation Haki later on, and that just adds to their speed. It's like, well, it doesn't really add to their speed. It adds to what they can dodge though, because like not only are they faster than light by a large margin, but they can also see into the future basically.
Yeah, they're basically like mini Sasuke's, huh?
Yeah, observation Haki is kind of like the Sharingan.
Yeah, I mean it's probably dead ass like the Sharingan at that point.
Yeah, it basically is. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it kind of deflated all my everything.
No, it's fine.
Thank you for educating me, man.
No, it's fine, dude. It's cool that you're reading One Piece and enjoying it. It's actually my favorite manga personally. It's my favorite one, so it's cool that you're watching it for the first time. That's sick.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, man. Oh, thank you, man, for hearing me out. It's been nice talking.
Yeah, nice talking, bro. Apollyon, did you have anything you wanted to share?
Yeah, first I just want to say, like, you pretty much all but convinced me. Like, after hearing the whole thing about the Kizaru, the devil fruit training and all that, I feel like it mostly makes sense for light speed reaction time. But I have a question first. What do you think is, like, the amp for no, like, future sight, just normal base observation Haki?
So it's like, I think normal base observation Haki, like, there's some different dialogue on it. Like, it seems like Luffy was using it and like sensing Rayleigh's emotion with it, which was kind of weird. It was like he was sensing the enemy's intent. So I don't know if he was really seeing into the future with it in the beginning. He was just like sensing their intent before it would happen. And then he evolved it to being able to see the actual future itself. Also, observation haki has like other elements to it, like sensing where things are too. But yeah, I would say it's just kind of like an intuition buff. Like if you're fighting somebody, you can like sense they're gonna throw a right hand. And I'm trying to think, like, I guess the best example of it would be looking at a Neil or like the priests in Skypiea. They were just able to dodge attacks using like basic observation haki back then. But the actual amp to it, I mean, if I were to put a number to it, I don't know if this is accurate. It would be like less than a second or less than a few seconds into the future, because like Katakuri was stated to be a big deal for seeing a few seconds into the future. So like if you do think level 1 observation haki is seeing something before it happens other than intent, it would be like less than a few seconds. But I think it's mostly just you sense their intent. But I'd have to like read those panels again.
Okay, so for the Nami and L thing, first, I just want to say, like, right after she does that, he says, oh, if I, like, he's pretty much not trying or putting any effort into it. Because for, like, other than the whole, like, oh, he's God, he's above literally everyone else thing, she says, like, if I increase, like, the scale of it, the attack, then, like, it's just useless, you can't do anything.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but it's also because, like, he has lightning blasts that are, like, the size of a house. So, like, Nami just wouldn't be able to reflect all of it, basically.
Okay. That, and, it's might be going into headcanon, but basically, you know how in Alabasta, when, Zoro cuts Mr. One, how it's basically all but confirmed that he used some form of armament haki there?
Yeah, like, there is, like, a debate over that. He might have, like, used Ryu for a second, in a similar way to how Luffy uses, like, Conqueror's Haki in brief moments pre-time skip.
Yeah, that's my... I feel like One Piece characters, like, in life or death moments, get, like, some sort of, like, that, like, light observation haki when it comes to dodging stuff. Considering, like, the stuff, like how you mentioned before, how in One Piece they're, like, death's door and still reacting to stuff. I feel like they have to get that stuff, kind of stuff pre-time skip especially.
I mean, that's possible, but I think that's a bit harder to prove, that, like, every time they're doing this, they're having observation haki blast every single time. Like, I think that's a bit harder to prove, just because there's so many of these kinds of feats.
Yeah, it's really weird in One Piece, the whole, from light speed, like, Sabaody, or faster than FTL Sabaody. I feel like it doesn't get, like, I feel like around, like, 100 times stronger. I feel like that's a good number. You pretty much, like, convinced me, sold me with your argument.
Oh, thanks. Like, I mean, yeah, it's said by Shaki that Rayleigh was 100 times stronger than the Straw Hats, and there's, like, different ways you could view that. Like, you could say that Shaki thinks he's Rayleigh's 100 times stronger than their whole crew put together, or that he's just, like, 100 times stronger than Luffy. But this is also, like, backed up when Luffy fights Kizaru. The first thing he says is, we're 100 times stronger than last time. So, yeah, it seemed, I mean, you could use that as an argument to say that they're, like, 100 times faster than light now. But, I mean, that's, like, a different kind of debate, I guess. But they're definitely faster.
That's the only issue.
Oh, go
ahead. You know, we get that they get a lot stronger and a lot faster. But do you think it's just, like, a straight up, like, just straight multiplier, like Super Saiyan thing, or just, like, they get stronger and, like, less faster?
Yeah, that's
like the whole travel speed thing.
Yeah, that's the more debatable part of it. I mean, I would say that, like, so, like, I would say for someone like Luffy, I could see him being able to react to attacks that are 100 times faster than what he could react to before. Like, the reason I say that is because, like, not only does Luffy get magnitude stronger, but he also gets future sight on top of it. So, like, he should be able to react to things a lot faster. But another thing is, like, Luffy's reaction speed is just shown to increase a lot. Like, we see at the start, even post time skip, it increases a lot. Like, we see at the start of Wano in Gear 4, he gets speed blitzed by Kaido's Thunder Bagua. Like, he can't react to it, can't do anything.
Yeah.
But then by the end,
like,
oh, go ahead.
Like, the third rematch, he, like, it's like fighting toe to toe on Gear 4, basically.
Yeah, even in base form, like even in his base form, he's like reacting to these Thunderbogwas, dodging them, blocking them. So it's like he gets magnitudes faster. Even like just comparing start of post time skip to end of post time skip Luffy is a big gap in speed. Let alone like pre time skip Luffy to current chapters Luffy. It's pretty gigantic. I would argue that like saying Luffy can dodge things 100 times faster than what he could back in Sabaody is like pretty fair. Like, I mean, you could say something like, "Do you think Kaido was 100 times faster than Sabaody Luffy?" Like, I think so. I think I would make an argument that that Thunder Bagua that Kaido does, even in base form, would be 100 times faster. Let alone Kaido's Man Beast form one. And Man Beast form is kind of like implied to be similar to Gear 2. It's like a similar multiplier that was shown in Luffy versus Lucci. Like their base forms were kind of relative. Then Luffy went Gear 2, Lucci went Man Beast form, and they were still about relative. So it shows you that like Lucci's Man Beast form is basically like him going Gear 2. Let alone Kaido, who's a mythical devil fruit like freaking Yonko. Imagine like Kaido going Gear 2, then doing Thunder Bagua, and Luffy still just like clashing with it, reacting to it, dodging it. Like I would definitely say that there's a good argument for that being 100 times faster than Sabaody Luffy.
Okay, yeah. I just want to say, some people in the YouTube chat like thought of something that I just didn't think of, like guns in One Piece and cannons. Like, how do those work if everyone Sabaody, Luffy, and onward is like FTL?
I mean, Luffy, even in like chapter 1, is like reflecting cannonballs.
Yeah. Do you think like Haki makes the bullets move like way faster? Because what's his name? The
Ben
Lucky
Beckman?
Roo, I think it is. Yeah. Is that the sniper guy?
Oh, Yasop?
Yeah.
Yeah,
too.
I think that
It's like he just straight up like, or he doesn't actually do anything, but he's implied to be like way I don't know, like it's not like Van Auger where you can just use like, oh, he teleports. Like he just straight up like snipes people. It was in when he fought Shank, or not fought, when he destroyed the red hair ship, or not red hair.
Bartolomeo's
Kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
just destroyed.
like you could make an argument that Haki makes the bullet faster. That would actually, I mean, it's kind of hard to see how that would work. We haven't really seen like our gunmen's coating the bullets with Haki. We don't really know how that works yet, but I would say that yeah, they probably are. It would explain how people like Van Auger are able to like one-shot the Crackers Biscuit soldiers, and those things could like take Gear 3 punches. So he probably is like coating the bullets with Haki, yeah, making them stronger at least.
Other than that, that's pretty much all I got.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
You pretty much all but convinced me.
That's sick. Thanks for tuning in, bro. So who is next? Actually, was it Gyro? I don't know who is next.
Yeah, is my mic good?
Oh yeah, your mic's good. How's it going, bro?
It's going good. I just wanted to talk about the you know the Sanji versus Oven. Like, did you guys talk about that?
Oh no, didn't even mention that. No, yeah, Sanji does have really good travel speed feats.
Yeah, because I thought that was like really impressive. I don't know if it's like one of the fastest like feats in the series, but like it was like really impressive that he was able to like go that fast that like no one could see him. I don't know how fast it was.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. He went so fast that Oven couldn't see him, and then he does the same thing to Queen. So like, I think that's one of like Sanji's specialties. I think he has the fastest travel speed out of the Straw Hats. Like, his travel speed seems to be like insane.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. I just thought, yeah, that was a pretty impressive feat. That's really it.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, that's actually a great thing to bring up.
Right.
And then who would be next? I don't know who is next.
Can I go next?
Yeah, sure. How's it going, King Shadow?
Pretty decent. Going through a lot lately, but you know, overall it's been pretty okay. So what's your like opinion? Because I joined the stream like just about 3 minutes ago. So what's your opinion? Do you think Luffy's above like feet or What's your opinion here, so I can like know where to go
Oh,
based off of like what I'm gonna.
oh yeah, no worries.
Or
Yeah,
you think characters in One Piece are above light speed?
yes. Like my claim that I'm making is well, first off, like reaction speed's different than travel speed. So like how fast they can react to something's completely different than how fast they can like run from point A to point B. And my claim is that pre-time skip characters are already faster than light, and then they just become massively stronger and faster than that post-time skip. And there's a lot of examples of it, like all throughout the series, really.
Yeah, no, like I'm glad you have that respect because I don't disagree with that at all. I honestly thought you had the respect of like people. Snowball, stop.
Is that your dog?
My bad, my dog.
No worries.
So yeah, so I actually like have the exact same respective as you because in Kizaru case, right? Because people tend to like talk to use the debate that Kizaru is light speed, and he's like one of the known fastest character in One Piece. That's meaning that everyone is like below Kizaru or like equivalent when it comes down to speed. But that's not true because Kizaru is actually a slow person. He just was lucky enough to run into like a fast fruit. Logia fruit, essentially. And so, with that being said, anytime we see him using his speed, it's only to keep up with the people that he's fighting, right? Like, we've seen that relative, like, Kizaru, while using his, I think it's called light fruit, or, like, whatever you want to call it, right? His Logia fruit, Rayleigh was still able to, like, keep up and block Kizaru, before he managed to land his attack. So Kizaru is actually a pretty slow person, but his fruit makes him fast, but he uses his fruit ability in order to keep up with fast people. That's why like you just see him constantly using his Logia fruit against Luffy, and Luffy just casually dodging, blocking, and like even previously we seen Luffy catch lightning itself, and Kaido was able to keep up with that Gear 5 Luffy, who's just casually able to throw lightning at Kaido. So yeah, I agree with you 100% with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of crazy speed feats, and like another thing that you can say for people like saying Kizaru's the pinnacle of the verse or whatever, that I would say that just mostly would be in terms of his travel speed. He might be the only one with light speed travel speed, but even that's debatable. It seems like Sanji might be able to keep up with him. But on a side note, Crocodile says at the beginning of the series that like your devil fruit gets stronger the more you train with it. So it's like Kizaru could, like, let's say you give Kizaru the light fruit as a baby Kizaru would be the speed of light, but he's had the fruit for potentially decades, has climbed the marine ranks with it, so now he would be much stronger and faster than light just based off of that alone, just from like using his fruit and getting more experience with it. Another thing is we see Kizaru, like, as he travels from one place to another, he says he can accelerate. So that's Kizaru saying like he's going faster than light by his own words anyway. And then you add Haki on that, it's an even bigger boost. So it's like, yeah, I would say people who are lowballing the series like that, you could say Kizaru was light speed like 10, 20 years ago, but has just gotten much faster and stronger since then, which is why he's like an admiral now. So
I actually didn't think about it like that. Like, that's a really great point. And there's also the fact that we like to imagine the admirals being like in the place they're in. There's only like pre-time skip. There were only 3 of them, right? So you would just imagine or like assume or even think like, and they were like comparable to Yonko's even, but you would even like think that all of them are awakened. So even that alone give you a boost with Kizaru's speed when it comes down to light speed. So like if his light speed was just like regular light speed, right? And then like with the boost added on with awakening, right? And there's no confirmation that there is even an awakening with Logia fruit, but I just assumed there was because with every other fruit there is one, right? So yeah, if like his fruit is awakened, then you know he would clearly get like a boost in speed in that, especially since like it's it's basically off of speed, Kizaru fruit. So yeah, I agree with you there 100%. Like there's no debate.
sick. Well, that's good to hear, man. Awesome. It seems like everyone's just agreeing. So, I think the last one is Castle Goat. Is there anything you'd like to share? I don't know. He might be away from the mic. Well, yeah. I mean, it's
like something else I want to talk about. That's kind of One Piece related, but I want to get your opinion about this, and then also like something outside of One Piece. But if you don't want to talk about that, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll hear it. What's up?
So, with One Piece related, so like the Straws, right?
Sorry, no, the who? The Straw Hats, you said?
Yeah, There's a theory that Brook Awakening is gonna be bringing back people from the dead, and so we're gonna see like a huge war of like Roxy's a Beg, Joy Boy possibly, and like Davy Jones, all fighting in like the end game. You know, like if Brook's able to bring people back from the dead. What do you think about that?
That would be interesting. I could see that happening. I mean, something else I've thought is like when Brook came back from post time skip, he was like astral projecting himself. That might have already been his fruit awakening, which is something I was thinking. But another way to view it is like that's just more proof that your devil fruit gets stronger the more you train with it. There's like a lot of examples actually throughout the series of people's devil fruit just getting stronger the more they use it. Wait, Castle Cat God said he's just trying to figure out how to unmute. So yeah, Castle. If you're on your phone, and you tap on your screen and you look at the bottom, there should be a microphone symbol. Just tap the microphone symbol and that will unmute you. But if you're on the computer, it should. I mean, it'll still just be like a microphone. You just click it. He said he's on his computer right now. Okay. But yeah, I mean,
there's also a theory that like, so Oda, he's already introduced time travel to us. Do you think that we're gonna get a time travel scene of like, I don't know, maybe the Straw Hats going into the past, or even like there could be like a scene of like the Straw Hats going to the past and like Luffy actually is Joy Boy. Because of that, there's just like a reoccurrence of that. Because like, I don't know if you watched or read Dr. Stone, but like the author even said like the best time to introduce time travel is at the spoiler alert for people who don't listen. I apologize for this, but the best time to introduce time travel is at the end of the series. So do you think that's like correlated into like the One Piece? Like, what if like the Straws made the One Piece by traveling to the past? But that's just like all headcanon is like, it's a theory, of course. But do you think like people of like the past is gonna come to the future, just like we've seen in Wano?
Yeah, I mean like, so we know the person who had the time travel fruit, Toki, she died. So that means the fruit exists again somewhere. So someone else could time travel somewhere somehow. So yeah, I think there could be some more time travel stuff happening. I have seen that theory that like, what if Luffy is literally Joy Boy? Like he finds the One Piece and then he just goes back in time 800 years ago and like does some crazy stuff. I think that's a very interesting story. I mean, very interesting theory. If that happens, I actually wouldn't mind it. I'd be like, oh, that's kind of a cool end to One Piece, but kind of like a weird time loop story. I could see that happening. Yeah. But like one counter to that is like when Emu looked at a straw hat that like Emu just had like a straw hat like in this dungeon, and the straw hat was giant. So it kind of looks like the original. Well, we don't know who the straw hat belonged to, but like there were theories that it was Joy Boy's and that Joy Boy was actually a giant.
Okay, yeah, and then also first I want to talk about that as well. The One Piece first. Do you think Emu just knows about the One Piece and she's keeping it like secret? Like I think like she or he knows about the One Piece and like that large straw hat has something to do with it. And I don't think Roger like death was a coincidence as well, because he had like a virus or he was sick, but then he was on like a cruise trip with them for like 2 years and no one else got affected besides him. So I think someone in his crew or like someone like of the past, I mean, we know like you got the Roxy's effect flashback and whatnot, probably poisoned him. It's like what it seems like. But yeah, so what do you think about what I just said about like Emu knowing about the One Piece and like knowing what it is?
Yeah, I think a lot of people know what the One Piece is. Like,
yeah, Israeli knows about it for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know. Probably the admirals too. Like Akainu, he seemed to know a lot of the stuff that Vegapunk was talking about.
It's the fact that what's that? Tagashi, right? From One Piece, the author.
Oda?
Yeah, Oda, I apologize. Yeah, he said that Akainu, I'm butchering his name. How do you pronounce his name again?
Akainu?
Akainu, yes. Akainu, he'll find the One Piece in a year if he was looking for it. That's how good he is. So, like, yeah, I think he may know what the One Piece is. But Akiji, I don't believe he knows what the One Piece is. One Piece is. But like, if he does, he doesn't care for it because he's just active Blackbeard right now. Like he's just working with him, I guess. But
Yeah, I mean, One Piece just has like endless theories. Like I see in the chat, some people are saying they think One Piece is going the Naruto route, but like I've seen, so some people think that like everyone is just reincarnations of somebody. That like Luffy's a reincarnation, Blackbeard's a reincarnation, all that. I personally don't think it's gonna go that route, based on like based on the scene that they had with Emmett. There is this scene where Emmett, like the giant robot and Egghead, met Luffy, and the first thing Emmett said was like, "Oh, Joy Boy, it's been so long since I've seen you." And Luffy like looks around, like is looking around, thinking Emmett's talking to someone else, and he's like, "Bro, I'm talking to you." And as they're talking, Emmett has internal dialogue. He's like, "Yeah, I knew this guy isn't Joy Boy. Like, I just wished that he was." And
I was just also the fact that like you said that Joybo was a giant, but during that flashback when Joybo was like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you this knot, and once you release it, my conqueror's Haki will be released," wasn't he smaller? Correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, he did look kind of small. Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at that panel. But it's also, Emmett is gigantic though, so like you can be a giant and still be smaller than Emmett, or like be somewhere in between normal and giant size. Because there's a lot of characters like that, like characters that are like 10 feet tall and they're not actually giants. They're just like abnormally large. Like a good example would be someone like Don Chinjiao. Don Chinjiao's like 10 or 12 feet tall, but he's not considered a giant. He's just like he's just a gigantic person. Whitebeard's another example.
Loki, I'm quite sure he's gonna shrink down once he joined the crew and the tribes, but I think it's just like
I think Loki's gonna join the Grand Fleet, but it looks like wait, Cosmic just joined. Cosmic, is there anything you wanted to add to the debate?
As far as Lightspeed, One Piece characters being Lightspeed.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on it? Or would you want me to? Would you want me to state like?
I don't think it really. I don't think those power scaling levels matter in One Piece a lot. But I wanted to go against your like one argument that you made yesterday. Well, for me, it was yesterday with Kuma's statement.
Oh, with Kuma like shooting air, air pressure deflected at the speed of light.
Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the panel?
I have it on the screen.
Because I want. Oh, you have it on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he says.
He says, I call it the pad cannon, air pressure deflected at the speed of light, creating a piercing shock wave.
Yeah, so he's not saying the shock wave themselves are light speed. It's the deflection of the air pressure that's at light speed.
So you're saying like air is being shot at the speed of light, and it makes an attack that's slower than light?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Of course. Why do you think that's not possible?
Well, but I'm just trying to understand how that would be possible. You're saying like he's shooting air at the speed of light, but then it's not the speed of light.
Yeah, it's a two-part process. He's deflecting the air pressure at light speed, which then creates the shock waves.
But like
and both can be at different speed.
But aren't they just the same thing? Isn't it just like I could just make the argument that the air pressure being shot at the speed of light is the shock wave. Like that's what the shock wave is.
No, because it's a two-part process. Like he's deflecting the air pressure at light speed, which then creates the shock wave. And the speed is specified for the deflection of the air pressure, not the shock wave itself. And even if you look at the anime, the speed itself is different. Like the deflection part, he does it much faster.
It's debatable. It definitely is a debatable thing. Like you could say that. So air, like the process is air travels at the speed of light, and then it creates a shock wave. So are you saying Zoro's being hit by the air, but he's not being hit by the shock wave?
That's not what I'm saying. What?
No. I mean,
No.
I'm asking you, like, how does it work? Because if, like, let's just think about it logically, right? He's taking his palm and he's hitting air, and the air is flying at the speed of light. Yes, we have both agreed to that. So is Zoro dodging that air?
Hold on. Say that again.
So okay, the way the attack works, he fires, like he's hitting the air with his palm, right? And the air is traveling at the speed of light. Is Zoro dodging that air and the shockwave comes behind it?
No. His movement, he's charging it up at light speed, but the attack itself is.
Where does it say anything about charging?
I'm just labeling it as charging to make it simpler. Like the deflection of the air pressure, that's charging. That's the process of charging.
So okay, this air moving at the speed of light, is it hitting Zoro, yes or no?
Yeah. The air is just air. He's not creating air, he's creating shockwave.
The air creates the shockwave, yes?
No, it's Kuma's devil fruit that creates the shockwave.
No, it says air pressure deflected at the speed of light, creating a piercing shockwave. So I'm asking you how this process works, because the way you're describing it, it sounds like you're saying the air fires at the speed of light, that hits Zoro, but then a shockwave comes trailing behind it super slow, and Zoro dodges that. That's how it sounds like you're describing it. Am I right or wrong?
No. Okay. I don't know how else.
I mean, I'm trying to get you to explain. I'm trying to get you to explain it.
He's creating the shockwave at light speed, but the shockwave themselves, which is created, is not light speed. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so that means that the air that means that the air is in front of it. The air would hit Zoro, and then the shockwave comes behind it way slower. That's the only way that would mathematically make sense, what you're saying. And I don't think that's what Oda was trying to show. I think he was just deflecting air pressure Robin says he's deflecting the atmosphere. And then Kuma says he's deflecting air pressure itself at the speed of light. And like that air pressure being deflected creates the shockwave. But if you think the shockwave is slower than light, then that would mean that the air goes first and then the shockwave comes behind it. I don't really know if that's how it works. I think that the shockwave would be in front of the air, like it's being created. Like I think the actual interpretation is the shockwave is the air.
Are you guys going based off the author's intent?
Well, this was just Cosmic. He was just making the argument that he said the air palm cannons are not the speed of light. He said like they're created at the speed of light, but then the shockwave is slower than light.
That's just headcanon. There's no proof that it's slower than light.
No.
But I mean,
that's not true.
But I mean, even if you ignore that, there's like 20 other light speed feats in pre-time skip One Piece anyway.
Yeah. I only wanted to go against this point. Other than that, I don't think. Because I think Oda doesn't care about those labels. I think he's just power skills, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just interesting when you use One Piece in cross-verse debates. Like, if you want to do, like, Luffy versus Hunter x Hunter characters and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But, okay, yeah, I mean, those are...
And do you just...
Oh, so what? What was it?
Do you just want to talk about this debate specifically, or... Because I want to talk about the chapter. Do you want to talk about it?
Oh, yeah, we could talk about that a little bit later, because I think there are some people... There might be some other people who wanted to share, like Castle Goat was saying he wanted to share earlier.
Are we gonna do like an open debate, like on the stream or no?
Maybe not this one, just because everyone's already almost shared. So now, like, I think we only have like 2 left, like, maybe 3. So I think we can keep going one at a time and get through it. So, Castle, did you want to share something?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Perfect. Yeah, I guess where I wanted to start, I haven't, you may have at the beginning, I missed the beginning, but there is a panel during Sabaudi where Kizaru is kicking Basil Hawkins, and he says, "Have you ever been kicked at the speed of light?" And then he proceeds to just completely puts him with a kick that's stated to be light speed. So I'm wondering what your response to that would be.
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways you can talk about that one. So, like, I would say, yeah, that is kind of a tough one to debate around because he does just get hit by a light speed attack, but he survives it, and like is able to keep fighting after that.
But the reason that he survives it, right, is because he has those little voodoo doll things that kill his crew instead of him, right?
Yeah, I mean, my honest stance on it is that I think Kizaru's a lot faster than Light. Like what I was saying earlier is like the devil fruits get stronger the more you train with them. So if you gave Kizaru's devil fruit to him when he was like a child, then child Kizaru would be the speed of light. But the more you train with it... Wait, what?
Can I help you out with that portion, like what the question that he asked?
Here, let me just finish the thing I was saying, and then you can say something. But yeah, even if you gave Kizaru the fruit as a child, he would be the speed of light. Then he gets stronger over the years of using it and getting more experience with the devil fruit. That would make him much faster than light. Then like Haki on top of that is an additional boost. So like just because Kizaru's doing an attack with his devil fruit doesn't mean it's capped out at the speed of light. It could actually be far faster.
Right, and I do kind of agree with that because on Egghead he has that attack where he specifically says he's accelerating. So I think for an attack like that, he is getting FTL.
Oh, and another thing. Oh, sorry. One other thing you could just say is that Basil Hawkins is just weaker than Zoro and Luffy, which isn't really that big of a deal. That kind of is just a good argument that like Hawkins himself is just not that strong and he's just kind of carried by his devil fruit.
I guess that's possible.
I think that's even kind of likely.
Was they were trying to portray all of the supernovas as being kind of, the guys that were the top of the top, at least among the rookies.
I mean, amongst the supernova, they were showing like different strength tiers to the supernova while they were there. Like there was one scene where like, I think 2 different supernova were about to start fighting and then they got stopped by X-Drake, showing like X-Drake would be stronger than those other 2. And then we know like Luffy, Law, and Kid were like the pinnacle of the supernova at that time. Or actually, it might have been Uroge. You could make an argument Uroge was the strongest because he like 1v1 to Pacifista, and it took the whole crew to beat one. So they weren't all like the same level at that point.
Right, and yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah, I actually think the best counter is just that Hawkins isn't that strong. Like, he was kind of dependent on his devil fruit, kind of using it the same way a Logia would.
Yeah, and I mean, one other thing I wanted to mention, for like Kuma's pad cannons, I do agree that they are light speed, but I think that whenever you have this kind of projectile attack, you have to factor in, one is the attack telegraphed, and for Kuma it is telegraphed because he thrusts his palm like he's basically throwing a punch. So if you want to dodge his pad cannons, you only really have to dodge the speed at which he's extending his arm. And then there's also the distance between you. So if he's like 50 meters away and you move 1 foot to the right to dodge, you're kind of somewhat relativistic, but you aren't really anywhere near light speed, even though you dodged it.
What about the scene where Zoro's dodging like dozens of them?
Yeah, but Kuma's still throwing out his palms for each one of them, so he's reacting to the movements of the arm rather than the movement of the cannon itself.
But if the cannon's traveling through the air at the speed of light and he's dodging one while a second one is like about to hit him and he dodges that too, like, wouldn't that make him relative? Especially when you consider Zoro's doing this while he's so damaged he can barely stand up, like, let alone what a healthy Zoro would be capable of,
I still think he would really only have to be looking at the arms and kind of, it's basically effectively the cannon is just extending the range of Kuma's arms. So if you can move faster than his arms and you keep watching and dodging each one after the other, I don't think that's necessarily an FTL reaction feat.
What about this scene where a laser beam is like flying through the air in front of his face and Zoro's just like on his knees on the ground, like more damage than he was when he was dodging the air cannons, and then just still dodges that before it hits him? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was looking at that panel, and that is kind of hard to argue against. The only things I might say is I don't think it's 100% clear that, because you know they have those 4 beams going in every direction. Is it just showing the laser itself, or is it showing just the reflection of the light going in every direction?
I mean, no, because you can, like, it stays consistent. If you look at the middle panel, like I have it on screen right now. If you look at the middle panel, there's 4 like shine lights going in like the direct, like the shape of a cross basically, but then there's 1/5 beam traveling through the air, and then if you go 1 panel lower, it's still like that. There's 4 shine lights, and then there's 1 beam like weaving past Zoro's head. So it looks pretty consistent that like he's just dodging a light beam like as it travels through the air while he's near death.
Yeah, and I don't know, I would kind of consider this to be a bit of an outlier / just the difficulty of conveying what's happening in a couple of panels. I don't think it's completely fluid, and everything can be treated as like true 1-to-1, you know?
I wouldn't really call it an outlier though, because it happens like 10 other times in Sabaody as well. What are your thoughts on like the 10 times it happens in Sabaody?
Yeah, I mean, it has been a long time since I watched this arc and a long time since I read it. The way I would see this is everyone's kind of frantically running away. So they're already in motion before the attack is being launched. So it's kind of like the equivalent of if you're running away from someone who's like shooting at you and then it like grazes your arm, it doesn't mean you're like dodging. You aren't like moving faster than the bullet. It's just kind of the aim and the chaos of the moment.
Well, there's another panel where like Luffy's standing in front of a pacifista and Sanji tells him it's going to be a shockwave, and like Luffy's standing there like waiting for it to be a shockwave. Then it's actually a laser beam and Luffy still dodges it. So he wasn't like running here. He like stood there, waited for the attack, and then just dodged it last moment as well. Like there's just actually a ton of light speed feats in One Piece, to be honest. And there's just so many, and it's like if it was just like one, I could understand people like trying to debunk it, but it's like there's actually like 10 or 12. And it's just like at that point to say that they're all outliers, it's like it's kind of hard to say that, especially when you have like the far weaker members dodging lightning. Like at the start of the series, you have Nami reacting to lightning at the Sky Pia, and she's just actually a fodder jobber weakling at that point in the series. Like she's basically a normal human being reacting to lightning. So yeah, I mean the idea that these guys are light speed, like Luffy, at the very least Luffy and Zoro are relative to light at this point, isn't that like hard to believe?
I mean, I kind of think just about the portrayal element of it, because when they're dodging, when they're like half dodging the pacifista beam's pre-time skip, they're still generally getting kind of caught in the shockwave. So like for the sake of plot, they can't die, but they are still kind of getting half hit by it. But then you go to like post-time skip where Luffy is, you know, tilting his head, and then the lasers are kind of going next to him, and he says too slow. To me, I think about that as a moment where it's trying to show how much faster he's gotten. And I don't think that portrayal would really make a lot of sense if we're supposed to believe he could already have done that pre-time skip.
Well, I would just say, like, it just means that Luffy was faster than light pre-time skip, and then magnitudes faster than light post-time skip. Like, you could just say he was slightly faster than light in base form pre-time skip. Like, it's close to him in reaction speed. But then post-time skip, he's just like magnitudes beyond that.
Right, and I'm not like completely uncomfortable saying that pre-time skip, like they could perceive light and at a distance they could kind of dodge it a little bit, because I mean none of these blasts are coming point blank, right? They're all crossing like, 10 to 20 meters or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's still making them somewhat relative to light. I mean, there's just so many different feats, especially like the ones of Zoro near death doing it. Like, that's pretty crazy. And this isn't even, and like the panel I have on screen, this is base Luffy, not Gear 2nd Luffy either, so. But yeah, I think it's pretty consistent that they're faster than light. There's just so many different scenes of them doing this. Like, I actually don't know another shonen where it's like this consistent this many times in the early chapters. Like any of the more grounded shonen, like I don't think Naruto has speed of light feats like this early on, this many. I don't think Bleach has this many. I don't know. I haven't really read that much of Bleach, so I probably shouldn't speak on it. But Hunter x Hunter definitely doesn't have it.
Can I mention
Bleach and Naruto have more, actually.
Well, wait, what was that?
Yeah,
I wouldn't say Naruto has more, but Naruto definitely.
Wait, we could go chapter for chapter, ban for ban money.
I don't care about debating about a freaking chapter, bro.
Naruto literally tags Haku while he's going mirror for mirror. And that's literally stayed at light speed.
But yeah, I mean,
and then like Itachi's light
also
speed.
He likes to play with Curious George, so like it doesn't really matter.
Wait, the same Haku that was stated to go all out once like.
And the same Curious George who was the cause of.
I'm just saying that like maybe his attacks aren't light speed, but him going mirror to mirror is stated light speed.
And what I'm saying like Curious George is around
mirror to mirror. That's crazy.
I mean, like, okay, so the thing with the Haku feat, it was stated. There's different like translations for it. Like it being stated the speed of light is like a data book only. In the manga, it's like, I think the exact word is like travels in a flash, like just to say it's like very fast.
Rilos, you wanna like run the whole One Piece FTL topic / like this Haku point and stuff, because like you did make an absurd claim. But by the way, like a flash is also reference to the speed of light. That's the point of what that saying is, right? Like a flash. Well, what's a flash? A flash is a flash of light. That's not an argument, and that's non sequitur as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
I mean, I get like
anything, you could take out like someone can flash someone's kids, like
Well,
yeah, that's what they were talking about.
So I'm just saying, like you said flash, like flash can mean anything.
That's obviously what they meant, bro. I agree.
Exactly. See, you agree with me. All right, cool.
I think Lilo.
You're just too strong for me, bro.
No, what I'm saying is like I would have to pull up the actual like Viz translation of the panel, but
translation I just said.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Lilos, is if it says like a flash, that's not an argument against it, right? Because like a flash can still mean the same thing as what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I mean, I might be misquoting it because I haven't read it in a while. But another thing, like what I was saying is, I don't think Naruto has as many light speed feats as One Piece. Like,
no, I think it has more. Yeah,
I can agree with that.
I agree. No, I mean that's like kind of a separate debate. We could do that in a second, because like I said, like I'm gonna be honest, I put these slides together in about 20 minutes, and I found like 15 light speed feats and just pre-time skip alone. By like near death characters, but
it was like 40 part 1 Naruto FTL feats. I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
I mean, are they all in the data books? They're all from data books, right?
No. Some of them are from like the actual.
I mean, well, like here, what like the point I was making is like it's just very consistent for One Piece, and like the reason I was bringing up Naruto is because like Dragon Ball fans do this a lot too. Is like the actual manga itself lacks the feat consistency, so they like immediately have to go to data books. With One Piece, I'm not even touching the data books, and I'm easily listing like 12, 15 light speed feats, like in the first like 400 chapters of a almost 1,500 chapter long manga. So, but
I wouldn't say Dragon Ball doesn't have like any like.
No. I'm that. Yeah, no. Dragon Ball has crazy feats, but it's like. If you debate people in the Dragon Ball community, you'll notice like they pull out the data books within like the first 5 seconds of every debate.
The data books, right? Like the
data books are made by like apprentices. They're not made by the actual author.
Yeah,
you could never substantiate that idea because that's just not true, right? Data books made by the actual author. That's 1, 2. Data books are, as they are implied, right? to be a guidebook, something that helps us guide through the series and understand things on like a deeper level.
Well, what the point I'm making is like using a data book, it, especially when people bring it out at the beginning of a debate, it implies that the series itself doesn't have enough feats for you to just win a debate with just the manga panels itself. I
don't know how that's not necessarily true, right? Because
no, I mean it's what it implies. Like it.
Wait, let me finish. One, Lilos, a lot of the time people are a lot more skeptical of what characters say within a story than with something that's said in a data book, right? So it's a lot easier for me to go to the data book that says Haku moves at light speed, and then let's say if Naruto says, oh, Haku's moving in a flash, right? That's a lot easier of a thing to argue, right? So just saying like, oh, hey, like, you know, using the easier formatted way of debating inherently dictates that the story itself doesn't provide this concrete proof doesn't make sense. It just means that there's an easier way to do it.
No,
I don't know how one comes to that assumption in the first place.
No, because it's a pretty logical conclusion, right? Like if you're like, for example, let's say something like this, like if you can just win a debate just showing manga panels of characters clearly performing these feats, why go an extra step and then bring out the data books? It's not actually needed.
That's not an extra step. That's a less of a thing, right? Because if
it actually
have
is
knowledge of this data book, right? Which most people who debate do, right? Like, let's be for real, right? Most debaters have knowledge of this data book, right? Would it be easier or harder, right, to argue that the omniscient person who understands everything about the story and is being concrete in what they say, easier to argue about if they say that somebody's light speed? Or is it easier if random person 1125 says that a character's light speed? What is easier to argue?
Well, when you're doing a debate, you should be more focused on what's accurate rather than what's easy. And when you're using data,
wait, I don't think those two are necessarily like.
Didn't Oda himself say that Luffy can't beat Super Saiyan Goku? So doesn't that mean that Luffy in Gear 5 is comparable to Goku in base form? And isn't base form Goku like literally light speed?
I don't know
and,
about
like reaction timing.
Way faster than light. I can say that.
Wait, like before you get onto that, like you want to like respond to my question, Lilos?
Yeah. What was it again? You.
No, I was just saying, like, I don't know how you come to the assumption that, like, an easier way to argue isn't the most fruitful way to argue, if anything,
well,
right? Like,
oh yeah, like
we actually have a terminology for that in debate. Do you know what that is?
No, that's not too important. Like, the reason I say that is just because, like, I mean, as someone who makes videos, it's just the truth, right? Like, for example, when I'm making a Hunter x Hunter video, right, and I'm talking about the power scaling in Hunter x Hunter, I always go out of my way to say, like, take the data book information with a grain of salt because it's ambiguous as to whether or not Togashi even wrote them. Like, if you do research and look up, like, all the Hunter x Hunter data books and you try and find for a fact, did Togashi write this? Like, the Hunter x Hunter power levels. There's so much debate over, did Togashi even write these things, or were they written by, like, random assistants that, like, barely touch the manga, or were they written by, like, Shueisha themselves? There's so much controversy over that to the point where people don't even...
I'll say two things to that. Right?
Wait, hold up. I was answering your question. Yeah, so there's controversy over who even wrote those. So it's like, and when I started looking into data books for Naruto and data books for Dragon Ball Z, data books for all these other series, it's the exact same controversy. They're like, did the author actually write that? And they're like, well, maybe they might have overseen it. They might. So it's a bunch of maybes versus the objective, where the manga itself is the objective. Yes, they wrote this stuff. So what I'm saying is, I myself, speaking for myself, when I do debates, I don't go to the data books if I can just prove it with the manga, because I don't have to. The manga proves it. And like, if the manga has so much overwhelming evidence that I don't even need a data book, and I'm debating someone who needs a data book, it implies I have the stronger argument.
Yeah, so I'd like to split this up into three things, right? One, right? I'd apply to this like Occam's razor. You know what that is, right?
Here, tell me what it is.
Yeah, so Occam's razor is just this like logical premise, right? that just suggests the idea that, hey, whatever is the simplest is usually the best, right? Or most honest thing we should go with, right? Like, if I'm looking at a couch, like you and me are in a room, we're looking at a couch, right? And we're a decent distance away, right? You and me both look at it and we're like, oh, well, it looks black, right? Well, there's also this like possibility that if we get closer, it could be navy blue, right? Like it could be a really deep blue, right? But obviously, both of us can look at this thing and we can say, well, it looks black. It's pretty convincingly black, right? We wouldn't go out of our way, though, to say to somebody, oh, that's a navy blue couch. The assumption would be that it's a black couch, right? So, like, I would also apply that thing to anything else we discuss or argue about, right? Is that I wouldn't go out of my way to look at some sort of minimalistic or even a possibility that might have, like, some very minimal grounding on it, right? I'd go with whatever is, like, the most simple thing, the most obvious thing, right? That would be, for example, one, let's start it off with, well, what if they didn't write these things? Well, at the end of the day, right? The guidebooks are meant to guide people through the series, right? It would be pretty weird if the person who has the rights to their story isn't writing their own guidebooks and or being the main contributor to what is said in these guidebooks. That would make no sense, right? Like, what would be the point of the guidebooks, right? If they're not actual things to look at. Why would they add these things? And let's say, like, for example, I don't know if you have the Demon Slayer box set, but when you get the Demon Slayer box set, it comes with the guidebook, right? Also, it's just directly told to us that, for example, Taite Kubo does write a lot of his guidebooks, right? Or The Clock Outside and things of that nature, right? So when we look at that, why would the assumption be that they aren't working on these works or that they don't agree with what's put inside of them? What would be the assumption for that? What would be the grounding, Lilos?
Well, just because, like, I mean, if it's just like someone other than the author writing it, why would they have more authority than the author?
I already attacked that.
So wait, that's like God telling the disciple to write his book, and then you're just saying that the disciples are wrong?
I mean that is a like really good like actual.
No, that's not a good point whatsoever. Because if God says something and the disciple says the other thing, right? Who are you going to believe more of, right? If the data book says something other than the manga, who are you going to go with?
I think most data books don't contradict, but Lilos, like, again, like I already said to this that like one, there's no real substantial grounding that they don't make these data books, right? That's one. For most data books, I'm not saying
I can prove that data books do contradict the manga.
Say it again.
I can prove that the data books do contradict manga. Like I can prove.
I mean, we could go into that, but give me 1 second to finish what I was saying. One, right? There's no actual substantial evidence, for example, that the Naruto creator doesn't write the Naruto data book. And two, even if there was, why would they allow them to publish this thing about their works that comes in with things like their manga box set, right? To describe what's going on in the story if they don't agree with it. That makes no sense.
Or, I mean, you could just say to make money, like the same reason why they sell toys and stuff. Like, it's just prints dollars. But I mean, that's a whole other debate. Like, really, like, the point I had brought up was just, I was saying that One Piece has more light speed feats in it than most other shonen, like, that are, like, relative to it. Like, I said I think it has more than Naruto. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But when I said that, I was actually mostly just referring to the actual manga itself. I wasn't mentioning the data books. I meant, like, if you just read the manga of One Piece and you just read the manga of Naruto, the manga of One Piece would have more light speed feats early on in its story. And
that's not true because, like, One Piece has no light speed feats, but, like, that's a different debate.
It actually has a bunch, but I mean, you told me you've read like 5 pages of One Piece, so I don't think you're really the authority.
Like, I know all the One Piece, like,
he read up to 50 and he just saw or just got a bunch of videos of One Piece feats, and that's what he bases off. So he goes based off of that.
Yeah, like,
it's crazy because, like, I low-key have more ball knowledge than most people. But,
I mean, I would just say,
I don't think you could bring up a single, like, good, like, light speed feat.
I mean,
contradicted by something.
I mean that
Yeah, what about Kizaru means that like Kizaru's light speed?
Well, Appa, one second.
He moves fast. There you go. Boom, chinchilla.
Let Lego speak.
Well, the thing is, Apple.
Anything he says is just headcanon. No, he's ratting.
Well, like the thing is, Apple. This stream's an hour and a half, and I just spent the last hour and a half explaining a bunch of different light speed feats done by like near death characters, done by characters 100 times weaker than the current versions. So I mean, you should just like rewatch those ones. But like the other thing I wanted, we can talk more about like One Piece versus Naruto in 1 second, because I think there was like maybe one or two more people who wanted to debate on the One Piece feats that I was showing earlier. And then Apple, we could go in detail about everything you were saying, because those are all interesting points that I actually do want to talk about. But I'm starting to feel bad for like Popo, and I think someone else is. I think it's Spy.
I just want to share a couple things too and get your 2 cents about it.
But yeah, Popo's been sitting here for like 45 minutes, and
King Shadow.
Yeah, King Shadow shared a bit earlier too. So I'd like to hear, like, Popo, did you have anything you wanted to say real quick before? Because I do want to hear like everything Appo's saying. Like, I like hearing Appo's points. So.
Since you guys were talking about the pacifistas, did you guys already mention that like the lasers were like based off like Kizaru's lasers, like when Vegapunk created them? You guys mentioned that already?
Yeah. Yeah, it was at the start. I have the panel on screen right now too.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like to say that they're not light speed, you would have to make an argument that Kizaru isn't light speed, which I don't know. I think you'd have a hard time doing.
Yeah.
I guess my only question is, you know how Frankie's laser is based off the pacifistas, and if that's only just light speed, isn't he like kind of trash right now?
I guess so. I mean, maybe Frankie improved it. I'd have to analyze like everyone he's used the light speed. I mean, sorry, the laser beam on. I'd have to analyze everyone he's used it on.
No, I agree mostly that they were like probably faster than light, like since Saba Odi. Like, I don't know. I think people have a hard time like disproving that One Piece characters aren't faster than light, but yeah, I don't know. My only thoughts is like, is Frankie's laser just kind of trash right now? If it's just capped at light speed.
I mean, yeah, I'd have to look at like every time he's used it, but I mean, I guess the argument could be like maybe he improves on it, because I think Frankie does like continue to work on his technology, but yeah, maybe Frankie is just like slow. I guess, I don't know. Like that one attack from, I mean, to be fair, that is kind of his like that's just like one of his weaker moves.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I don't got much to say. That's it.
No, those are good points. And then
Milo, I got one last question.
Oh, okay, what's up?
Like, how massively faster do you think they have grown, like, post time skip?
I would make the argument that Luffy right now can react to things 100 times faster than what he could react to back in Saba Odi.
Okay, that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, but I don't want to spoil too. Like, yeah, Mizuki, we're like, if we continue the debate, I probably will end up spoiling a lot of One Piece stuff for you, because like to make.
No, I was just continuously thinking about like, because you know, like,
not spoil shit for him.
Yeah, because he just got to Enya's lobby. And
yeah, it's just like when Oda brought up the fact that Luffy Gear 5 can't beat Super Saiyan Goku, that kind of made me think like, okay, is Luffy Gear 5 comparable to base Goku?
When did he say that, Luffy?
I mean, it's depending which Luffy are we using. Like, you know, are we gonna use Luffy when he fought, you know, Goku? Like, if we use that and then add what the current Luffy has, then boom, chinchilla. I think Luffy can beat like Super Saiyan, but like that's a whole different conversation.
Is this a real statement? Because I'm seeing like there's a bunch of TikToks on it, but I don't know if Oda actually said that.
I just looked it up on Google, and that's what Google says.
Like you said, Luffy.
Says that Oda. Yeah, I mean, like, I can screenshot it for you if you want.
Yeah, that would be fine. Yeah, what did you like search to find it?
I just literally said Oda states Goku can beat Gear 5 Luffy.
I'm looking it up.
Like Super Saiyan Goku specifically.
It sounds
Yeah,
like you're kind of
Super Saiyan
forcing that idea about like that.
I'm not
research.
sure which Super Saiyan Goku. I'm not sure if it's end of series Super or beginning of the Frieza arc or Namek arc. But that's what it says. But
Like,
like,
random person said that, and then the internet just saying like it's Oda because that like the way you research it was kind of forced in the way of like Oda. You're just typing in Oda saying this, and then now like you have Oda saying this, you know.
I'm trying to find the actual thing, but every TikTok I pull up, it's like some dude's face just in the way. Like one statement I'm seeing, it says, One Piece author Ichiro Oda has confirmed that Luffy Gear 5 cannot beat Super Saiyan Goku. And then it says, in Dragon Ball, pre-Super Saiyan characters could already destroy whole planets. Now they are on universe levels and beyond. But I don't see anything of it saying Oda says that Luffy could beat one of them.
Oh yeah, wait, no, you're right. Yeah, it was just an inflammatory statement that people just ran with.
Oh no, it's
And
okay.
then also, I have a question outside of like the debate, and I just want to get your 2 cents about it because like this hit me pretty hard when I thought about it. Like I have a counter argument, of course I always do, but this is kind of off topic from One Piece a little bit. So there's like a debate saying that Zeno and Silver, they're frauds in the sense of Crollo, like he was only trolling because they were like high tier characters that he were fighting, right? Like if you were to fight Phaeton and Uvo 2v1, he'll be struggling just like Silva and Zeno, and they did no substantial damage to Crollo. So what do you think about that, Lilos? Just off topic. I'm sorry for bringing this up.
No, it's fine. That I don't think that they're frauds. I mean, you could make an argument that Zeno's stronger than Silva because Zeno was the only one who didn't get damaged by Crollo, but I would like to save that for a separate debate because I want to mostly focus on One Piece on this one. But I think. Oh wait, the last person I see here is Bugs. Bugs, did you want to share anything? Or maybe.
Nika.
Oh no.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. So yeah.
He means yes. By the way, so what he wanted to tell you, it's about like Curious George being in One Piece, right?
Oh my.
Curious George versus One Piece.
Yeah, right. This is feat, right? Like a fantastic feat. Like that Curious George was so curious, he was able to discover like he can eat like 6 devil fruits, right? And only like he knows about it, and he doesn't like tell anybody else.
Wow. I mean, depends on which fruits Curious George eats.
Okay, so since it was stated that every devil fruit exists, right? He has one, the black hole fruit, right?
No. He has the curious fruit, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh,
So like the curious fruit, right? Automatically makes him curious. 2, he has the luck fruit, right? Extra lucky. Right, cool. So now he has luck on the side, so he won't die. 2, the water fruit. So like if he swims, he won't drown. So automatically he negates the rules of the devil fruit, right? And of course, number 3, right? The most important one. I just said 3. I just named 3. I just list 3 before I just 4.
Number 4.
Black hole, 100%. So automatically he's just gonna trap someone with a black hole, right? So just with the 4 devil fruits he has, like what do you think like you scale Curious George at, like right now?
You know, maybe Curious George is top of the verse, man.
Top of the verse. All right. Cool.
He might
so
be.
this proves that he has light speed feats because the curious fruits just automatically just makes him curious to find light speed, and he's automatically light speed because he's Curious George.
Yeah, that's.
I actually had a question.
What?
Do you think Luffy's planetary?
No, I don't. I mean.
Barely mountain level.
Have you seen the scaling that like the One Piece world is like 5 times bigger than Earth and stuff like
Bigger
that?
doesn't mean stronger.
Well, I would say if you highball One Piece, you can have Luffy at planetary and attack potency if you highball One Piece. I think the more.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if you highball One Piece and you take every statement literally, then the answer is like yes. But if you don't, then the answer is no.
I mean, didn't you have Whitebeard tilting the seas?
Yeah, he
Would
does.
Luffy now be stronger than Old Man Whitebeard?
Yeah, and like so like.
Which breaks the narrative.
I mean, if you
It doesn't break the narrative.
well, this will. I mean, this will.
Definitely breaks the narrative.
No, this will all be spoilers for Mizuki. You might want to head out, bro, because I don't want to spoil you on this stuff.
Wait. Okay, before I head out, I just want to ask: do you think that light speed has a percentile? Like, do you think like Kizaru is 50% as like fast as light? Like, what I mean is like you said that devil fruit powers increase over time and during training. Do you think that Kizaru, like when he first ate the light fruit, do you think he was just like 1% of the speed of light?
No, I think he was just the speed of light. Like as soon as he got it, like he just turns into light, and then he just makes himself faster, like by training.
Yeah,
and
but
getting strong.
if he turns himself into light, that doesn't like literally mean that he can move as fast as light. Like if I mean like if like a light bulb, for instance, like there's light in it, you know, it's like an illustration of like what it looks like. Do you think he's moving as fast as light though?
Yeah, I mean, just because he's literally just made of it. But I think like as he's used the devil fruit longer with it, like now he's much faster than that, and he's developed like a bunch of different attacks he can do with it. But when he first ate the fruit, he probably was just like made of light and didn't really know what to do. Yeah.
Wait, hold on, because he just brought up a really good point that I didn't even think about. So what if his devil fruit didn't work like that? What if it worked something akin to like he starts off like 1/10 of light speed, right? And then he reaches like 10th of like he reaches light speed completely by like accelerating to like light speed. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't know why. Well, my argument to that is like why is Kizaru the only fruit where he's not what his fruit says he is? Like no one else. Like it wasn't like Luffy was just like. And Mizuki, you really probably should leave because I don't want people to accidentally spoil you. But like. But okay, oh my God, but yeah, like the point I was gonna say is like no other fruit is like that. It wasn't like Luffy was just partially rubber. It wasn't like Kizaru was partially magma. It wasn't like Aokiji was partially ice. Like they're all what their fruit says they are right when they get it. So, but I want
but the mastery of the fruit is completely different. As in, like not each ice attack from Aokiji, it would be like the same ice attack as it was previously. Like he could make a room like extremely cold, or just like make his drink cold. You see what I'm saying? And then it worked the same way with Luffy. And then Egghead, it was explained how devil fruit kind of works is based off of imagination. So if you're imagining not going as fast as speed of light, but you could like reach that speed eventually due to your speed by accelerating, then like I would say that Kizaru can't surpass the speed of light in that sense if that's the point that Homeboy was making. But I don't know.
That doesn't mean that because devil fruit over time it was still.
Wait, hold up. Wait, well that doesn't attack their point because their whole point wasn't. They were arguing the idea that them getting stronger over time, Kizaru specifically, it would eventually reach that light speed. But Lelos, real quick, all of the examples you have, like, in what case did we ever see the beginning of their devil fruit?
Luffy, like chapter 1. Okay,
yeah, that's the only one, right? You agree? You agree that that's
we saw. No, he's not the only one.
No, there's
we saw that what's that girl name? Who can also turn to
everybody at Eddie's lobby. We saw at the beginning of the
everyone's in lobby.
Kenny, you haven't watched the show. You watched 50.
No. Wait, Lenny. You know what's crazy?
I mean,
that wasn't even my question. That wasn't even my question, Lenny. What was my question?
I wasn't paying attention to your question.
Oh, so you weren't paying attention. My question was out of the people that Leros named other than Luffy, who did we see get their devil fruit? See, Lenny, it would be great if you actually listened to
it. It would be great that, there you go. I can just do that.
Why you kicked him out? Wait, why'd you kick him out? No. No.
I can just do that. You want to be a wise guy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yo, Willis, have you ever heard of the association fallacy?
No. What's that one?
So the association fallacy just goes like this. It's like saying, because two things are similar, they inherently have to work the same way, which obviously just isn't the case. I'll give an example. In ways, obviously, let's just say PS5 and Xbox, right, are similar in certain ways, right? So it would be fallacious though to say that they have the same features as each other all around, right? Because Xbox has insert feature 1, that also means PlayStation has insert feature 1, which we know isn't the case, right? And the same can be said about devil fruits, right? So like the type of devil fruit you eat, right? The when you eat it, how you eat it, et cetera, it can all play a role in how your devil fruit forms, right? And how well you are at using your devil fruit, how strong your devil fruit is. So just because these people, right, when we get the devil fruit, have most of, if not all of the attributes of their devil fruit, does not also correlate to the idea that Kizaru did as well.
But I mean, that's just what devil fruits do. Like you eat a devil fruit and you instantly gain the power.
Yeah, Kizaru isn't like light. He literally is photons. His body is photons.
I'm cool with them getting becoming that thing or getting that power, right? But that still doesn't change the idea that it can work at different levels, right? So for example, let's say Aokiji, right? Aokiji have started his devil fruit with only being able to make snow, let's say, which is still like a form of ice, right? And then later on, he can now make glaciers and stuff, right? So I don't see the issue with something similar happening to Kizaru, where Kizaru could have become fully light, but not inherently been able to use it in a way that makes him accelerate to the speed of light. Because obviously, right, for Kizaru to be light and then also be able to move faster than light means that inherently the percentages of light does differ depending on how he moves during the devil fruit, right? You would agree to that?
Well,
when we saw Sabo eat the Maranomi, he was shooting fireballs and covering himself in fire, right after he ate it.
That doesn't change what I just said.
No, I mean that actually is a good point though, Apple, because the fire fruit is the same type of fruit as the light. They're both the Logia class. So
yeah, that doesn't change that. It can, for example, right? It can do that now, right? But that also doesn't mean that it's at its 100% potential. And for example, with the lightweight fruit, right? Since it's a lot different than other fruits, right? In terms of the idea that it's totally placed around light, right? For example, with fire, right? That can just get hotter over time, you know what I mean? Or turn into plasma or something. Whereas light, you kind of have this benchmark that it will eventually get to light, or maybe a little bit faster or whatever, right? So it wouldn't be crazy to also say that potentially it could have moved at percentages of light.
But why is Kizaru's fruit the one fruit in the whole series where he gets
Lulos, I'm not saying it is. I think you're missing the point.
I guess I am.
It could be just the case that every fruit starts off at a percentage of what the fruit is supposed to be or to become, right? So, for example, we don't see a lot of other people's things, right? Even with the example of the fire fruit, right? I don't know what it's called, right? Even if he was engulfing himself in flames and stuff, that doesn't mean that that's even 50%, 20%, 10% of what the fruit can do. It could just be a really powerful fruit, because we also know different fruits have different power ceilings. You would agree with that, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, and I mean, it's literally stated that devil fruits, they get stronger the more you train them. So, when you...
Exactly, and if Kizaru's got stronger, and your interpretation is that Kizaru started off at light speed, that would inherently imply that it would also mean this fruit can move at different speeds other than light, which could also just be the case that he didn't start off at light speed.
But I'm not understanding how you're saying a guy who's made of light is not light speed. Yeah,
Lilos, the same way you're saying that the guy made of light can move faster than light speed, right? What?
So
you're trying to apply real world logic to it. I don't know.
So here's the point I'm trying to make. It's Kizaru's had the devil fruit for a long time. We saw he had it when Jinbei was a young man. That might how long ago was the Fisher Tiger flashback? Was it 20 years? Does anyone know how long ago?
I don't think that matters. I think Kizaru's lazy. I think he's
wait, hold. Well, no, this is the point I'm trying to make. Does anyone know how far back in time it was when Fisher Tiger died? Was that 20 years before the current? Because Jinbei was young. Does anyone actually know in the chat? Anyone here?
No, probably 20 years.
I think it was 20 years. But we saw Kizaru was already a vice admiral with the light fruit, was shooting laser beams, was like zipping around doing crazy stuff with it. Like, if we take, well, like, it shows you that he's had the fruit for a while and like climbed the ranks with the fruit even 20 years back. So like,
that doesn't. There's also like very few people. You think there's like regular henchmen with like the light fruit? Like, you think there was just some random soldier who has this fruit and like didn't climb the ranks? Like, what? It's extremely easier, obviously, for somebody with devil fruit powers to climb ranks, even if he wasn't good at using his powers, right? Even if he was moving at 5% the speed of light, right? That would be extremely faster than things like bullets, which the average henchman uses in the One Piece universe, right? He would easily still be clearing, like, strong opponents. That doesn't defeat the argument that Kizaru could have started off in a weaker state. And, like, further to justify this is the example of actually his light sword, right? Like, he makes this light sword that obviously has math to it because it can clash with other things, which also just means that, like, it can't be moving at light speed if we use this, like, real world logic thing, right? So there's a good chance that there could have just been a point where he wasn't capable of moving at light speed, or it could still be the case.
So, I mean, that's honestly a very hard thing for you to prove. I'm gonna be honest.
I think it's an equal interpretation to your interpretation that he just started like this.
No, it's definitely not, because like what I'm saying is he got the light fruit, was made of light. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think the light sword is made out of light?
Yes. So okay, let's like stream.
The light sword. Wait. Do you think the light sword has mass?
I mean, I'm not really sure. Honestly, I don't know.
So you think it just magically clashes with other swords? Like, how
well,
do you think that works?
Because of Haki. That's like how Haki works.
You think Haki encodes the light, in which it's able to clash with like other things?
Yes, because Haki's stated to be an invisible armor. That's what Haki is.
Being invisible, how does the Haki stay on top of like a construct without mass?
I mean,
how does it go on top of the light?
I mean, One Piece is just a very like wacky verse. Like, for example,
I agree. I agree. It like is.
Well, I mean,
verse,
like
right?
there's things that happen that are just like cartoonish. Like, for example, there's a skeleton character, Brook. He gets hit by a lightning bolt and he doesn't take damage because he doesn't have skin. You can drink milk and your bones regenerate. Like, there's cartoonish things that happen. But what I'm saying is, I mean, I guess we could streamline the argument a bit, because your argument that you think Kizaru got the devil fruit and his travel speed was slower than light?
I'm saying that it's as equal as an interpretation as what you're trying to present. Yeah.
I mean, you could say that, but we see, like, even if you say that, it's like we know he's had it for decades and has been getting stronger with it over the years.
What makes you think he got stronger? Like, if anything, I think the story points to that it's only recent that he's become stronger, if anything. Right?
Well,
like, Kizaru specifically is more of this, like, lazy character who doesn't care for confrontations, right? Like,
he got stronger because he didn't start off as an admiral.
Yeah, and there's a.
That doesn't mean anything.
Well, no, there's a few things that show Kizaru got stronger. Like, one of them, I think it states that anyone who is, I think it's vice admiral level. No, it might be lower. They say there's a certain rank where everyone knows Haki. In the Marines, was it captain? Is it all the captains know Haki?
Captain.
Yeah, so okay, it's like to even hit captain, you need to know Haki. So that's showing you like you have to train to some degree. Like, that's not something you're just born with.
That doesn't.
Oh, Anna, what's up?
Wait, can I say something?
Yeah, I guess it can just be open now.
At Marineford, there was a part where the admirals all used like Ryuo to like block an attack, so they all know it.
Yeah,
like,
I saw.
All trained with like advanced armament Haki.
I saw that too. Yeah, that's.
He's like a lazy person. I'm like, he wasn't born with like advanced armament Haki, right? So.
Wait, real quick, let me attack that. sure he could have like trained with Haki and then gotten good at Haki, but I don't think that also streamlines into the idea that, oh yeah, this guy also has been training with his devil fruit, right?
But Haki boosts your stats anyway.
Devil fruit training is more like confrontational based than like Haki is. And I think
with the Logi of fruit, right? Like,
from what I understand, it would be more like. Can I finish what
with conventional means with a Logi
can I finish what I was saying? Like I was like from my understanding, like Haki seems to be a more conventional type of training than what like devil fruits are, right? Like I think, at least based off what I've seen in the story, right? Like a lot of people who've learned Haki more so like actually train for the Haki, and then like for example, Luffy's training, where he gets like blindfolded and hit with the log or whatever, or the branch, versus like devil fruit abilities that seem to progress the more you actually fight or battle. So I would say that like if Kizaru really is lazy, especially when it comes to confrontations, or he could have like gotten his money up, went trained for the Haki or whatever, gotten good at Haki, and then like just been better than a lot of the other people because he has a really busted fruit, and then like never really had to train his fruit after that.
Can I say something to like tell you real quick? So even with Law, he has a busted fruit, and he had to train his devil fruit, because we see like his devil fruit room ability being able to expand after the time skip, and even like with your Luffy thing that you're talking about with the whole entire training session that he had, he trained his Haki and his devil fruit because he learned Gear 5, right? And then if you were to assume that Kizaru is just like this busted, lazy, OP character, then that just has to put Kizaru like as like the strongest, if not one of the strongest characters, period, especially if he would fight himself. In the sense of, hold on, can I finish real quick? So, in the sense of Luffy, we see him train like for 2 years, plus like the Ryu training and all his previous experience before he even went out to sea. And you're saying that Kizaru, without doing all of that, he's like an admiral able to keep up with Gear 5 Luffy, who Luffy, like we seen him train and like fight until he fought, like till he fell unconscious, and like even really trained him. So you're saying that Kizaru is so strong that he didn't have to train at all. He's just a lazy person, and he got like this strong. Like you're just giving him everything without any context.
No. That's not what I was saying. I was saying like he could have like gotten really good at Haki, right? To specifically streamline him becoming like higher ranked, right? And then like.
That's that's not evident based on, because we seen Luffy and he has Conqueror's Haki.
I wasn't done.
If you're a prodigy when it comes down to Haki, why do you like say Conqueror's Haki is very like relevant to have?
I wasn't done, man. Let me finish. Yeah. Specifically, right? Like, again, I would still point to the idea that it seems that it's more conventional training for Haki than it is for devil fruits, right? Where he could be okay with conventional training. And just saying like Luffy did train in those 2 years with his devil fruit doesn't mean he didn't also just fight, right? And I'm not saying he just like magically got to this level. I just think his devil fruit ability specifically was already broken, right? Like I said, even if it was 5% the speed of light, right? That would still gap most of the verse.
Okay, hold on. Let me just address that real quick. It objectively doesn't. We literally see Nami, a normal, weak, like fodder human girl, chapter like 180 react to lightning, man. She's garbage. Like there's so much of the verse.
What is the context of her reacting to the lightning? Was it like a gag? Because I know there's a lot of gags in it.
No, it wasn't a gag. She just, the lightning was on her. She repelled the lightning away. That's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just put it on screen.
Yeah.
I have the panel on screen.
By the way, lightning is only like 0.4% the speed of light, if I'm not wrong. So I wouldn't even care about it.
But you were just saying like if it's like 1% the speed of light, he still gaps the verse.
I said 5% the speed of light.
Okay, but this is Nami, a fodder character. Like a lot of just normal marine.
I think the lightning moves a lot slower than what you think it does.
But what I'm saying is a lot of like normal Marines are stronger than Nami. She's just like a normal girl.
Do you know the difference between I just looked it up. Okay, it's 0.04% the speed of light. Do you know the difference between 5% and 0.04%?
Let me do the math right now.
Yo, the science clipping is crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like you're just like disregarding everything that's being said, and you're not acknowledging that you could possibly be wrong here, right?
Wait, no, I already said. I said this was the equal interpretation. That in of itself is an acknowledgement that I could be wrong, right? Because I think both things can equally be as true, right? I'm saying like I have this interpretation, which has like a 5% possibility, and you have this interpretation that's also a 5% possibility. I'm not denying or asserting that one is more possible than the other or probable.
but it's just like everything else in
that we provide is just a bit stronger than the evidence that you're providing. That's meaning that you're essentially using
every piece of evidence you tried to provide has only aided in my own interpretation.
But I mean,
For
like,
example,
I would just say that, but like you're like lowballing Kizaru as low as possible, and even if you do that, he's still like massively faster than light. I just put
like again, like
why not just agree or disagree here, right?
But like I couldn't even go as far, right, to dive deeper, right? Like agree. Okay, Nami is lightning timer, right? Lightning is 0.04%. Even if Kizaru was 10% the speed of light when he got his devil fruit. Since he got his devil fruit, right, he doubled his speed, right? He's gotten 2 times faster with his devil fruit abilities, right? Being at 20% the speed of light, right? The 20% the speed of light, right? It would still explain the insane difference between like a non-tier character, right, who's 0.04% lightning timing versus like Kizaru who's 20% of like.
Okay, well let's talk about this real quick. What are your thoughts on Luffy? This scene with Luffy where he has a gold ball on his fist that's much larger than he is. The gold ball, even if you lowball it, is like calculated to be more than 5 tons. The more highball interpretations is dozens of tons. And Luffy, with his fist weighed down by potentially dozens of tons of weight, throws a punch so fast that a man made of lightning says that the attack's too fast, and then just gets one shot by it. So it's like
Again, like even if like Luffy got massively stronger than that point, right?
well,
It still might not be 20% the speed of light.
well,
Can I respond to that?
yeah, go ahead. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
I mean-
really the point I'm trying to make is there's just abundant example. I'm showing you like stuff from like
Yeah,
chapter
but
100.
You're asserting that lightning timing is also like speed of light timing, which is
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like the argument I'm making is countering what you said. Like Kizaru at 5% the speed of light could climb the ranks. I'm showing you fodder characters are already like beyond 5% the speed of light. Like there is a state.
But lightning timing isn't 5% the speed of light.
Well, what I just hold on a sec.
Lilo's.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish the point. I'm showing you like very, very low tier examples. Because like there's panels in Sabaody of Usopp dodging light too, but I'm not even using those. But
Light?
yeah, I'm not even using those.
Tell me that. Yeah, tell me that because it's different from lightning, right? Like we're going from lightning to light timing. Right?
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm not even using that yet. I'm just saying it's like the claim that at 5% the speed of light you can climb all the ranks is like debunked by a lot of panels in the manga.
Yeah, I'm asking what panels, right? Because obviously we're questioning the light speed ones, right? Saying lightning timers are lower ranks doesn't justify the idea that a high rank can be 5% the speed of light because the lightning timing is 0.04% the speed of light. Like
No, I'm saying
a massive jump.
like here's the thing you're not understanding. Like this guy Luffy's fighting, he could be massively faster than lightning. Like he's evolved his devil fruit to the point where he's like turned himself into like a deity and has like country erasing attacks with his lightning fruit. Okay. And Luffy
Make the lightning faster.
Well, hold on. And Luffy, with his fist slowed down by like potentially dozens, maybe 100 tons, is still magnitudes faster than them. Like 100 chapters into the manga. And then the next thing I wanted to say is, it sounds like I'm echoing. I don't know who I'm echoing through. but maybe it's bugs. Let me just mute bugs. The next thing I wanted to say is like Luffy gets stronger each arc, and when he reaches Impel Down, they say any of the vice admirals would just low diff him. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, to reach, like, you're just kind of downplaying how strong the vice admirals are, basically.
I don't think so. Like, you do realize, like,
Can you
like
guys
it's
just
like I think it's like 700 times faster than lightning.
But okay, I mean, I wanted to start with those really low tier feats. Are you looking at the the stream screen right now?
No, I can't. I can pop into it. But I just wanted to bring that up. Like, I don't think it's crazy for somebody to believe that, like, oh, this character hasn't gotten 700 times faster. Like,
well, I mean, I can show you the like 100 other light speed feats now if you want. So like here's another one where it's Luffy.
Yeah, let me get into the stream.
Yo, Lilos, you gotta keep agree to disagree with Kenny, and you guys are not gonna reach a concrete point. I just want to say that now. Literally, this is what happened. You gotta show him something, Kenny's gonna say something, then you gotta show him something, then Kenny's gonna say something again. It's just a constant back and forth with no conclusion.
Just agree to disagree at this point, honestly.
He's dragging it. Y'all dragging it.
No, I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, I don't really mind. Cause
okay, if you're fine with that, then that's okay. That's all you.
Yeah, because after this debate, I'll just end the stream. But
Yeah. So yeah.
But here's another one, right? So Luffy's fighting this guy who has the ability to shoot something called slowpoke photons. They're light beams that if they hit you, you go in slow motion. And they have the properties of light. They bounce off of mirrors like light. And Luffy's dodging this like, I think this is like in the 200s, maybe like 250. Luffy's dodging it. And not only that, there's this scene where the dude is like hitting multiple of them off of like multiple mirrors, and Luffy's dodging those and punches at the same time. This is base form Luffy back in like chapter 200. What do you say about all that?
Give me 1 second.
Okay, can I comment on that real quick?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, if you're using the fact that it reflects off mirrors as proof that it's light speed, wouldn't you have to say the same thing about Kizaru's Yata mirror technique?
I'm just using that to say that it has the properties of light, but they're just called photons in this.
They're literally called photons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're like a special kind of photon. He calls them like neurophotons specifically, and I think he even like contradicts himself in an earlier chapter because he refers to them as like atoms or molecules. So Foxy is kind of inconsistent in the way he describes them himself.
But I mean, but that doesn't change the fact that at one point he's describing them as photons.
Sorry, I was texting somebody. You said that they're like photons?
Yeah, are you looking at the screen, at the stream?
Yeah, I don't care. Photons don't move at light speed. So.
Photons don't move at light speed. Can you give an example of that?
What do you mean an example? They just don't move at light speed. What?
So.
Oh, Lilos, I apologize. You're not well versed in the science. So, do you know when photons do move at light speed? There's a prerequisite. I know. It's crazy.
I mean, hold on. I'm just Googling what a photon is.
Yeah, look up when do photons, sorry, apparently I can't speak English. When do photons move at light speed? It's going to tell you it moves at light speed in a vacuum, but obviously they're not in a vacuum right now.
Well, I'm just Googling what a photon is. It says a particle representing a quantum of light.
It's negligible, the difference it makes in a void or not.
Well, I disagree.
So,
here's why. Yeah, we can get into that part, by the way, whether or not it's negligible, whether or not it's in a void or not, is one, I don't think that necessarily the idea that something is.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second, Apple. None of that matters because it clearly like has the properties of light and bounces off of mirrors. So like, I mean, at this point, it sounds like you're kind of stuck. Like it seems like you have to just kind of headcanon your way into saying that it's not what the manga's showing us it is, because we're seeing that it clearly operates the same way a light beam would. And Luffy's dodging a bunch of these, like chapter 200. I mean, if you don't like this, we have more feats too. I can just keep going.
Photons bounce off of mirrors when not moving at light speed. I don't think that means they move at light speed. right? We already agreed to the idea that photons move only at light speed when in a vacuum. You would agree with that, right?
Here, let me Google it. How fast is a photon outside of a vacuum? Let's see. So the first thing that says is a photon does not have a different speed outside of a vacuum. So first thing it says.
I can send you proof that it has speed of light in a vacuum.
Yes, it says in a vacuum.
The idea that there is a difference.
No, I mean you.
AI overview.
Yeah, I mean I just typed it in Google. That was the first thing that came up.
Yeah, I'll send like the studies on it.
Okay, but I mean, so all right. It sounds like you're pulling up some. It sounds like you're just pulling up some really niche stuff. Like, here's the reality. Like, One Piece is a very cartoonish verse. The odds that Oda went into that deep of detail to prove something like that is very unlikely. He just wanted to have like a slow beam attack. He wanted it to act like light, and he just put it in his manga. That's it. And Luffy's dodging it the same way One Piece characters dodge light hundreds of other times throughout the series. Like, we have other ones where Usopp, this fodder guy, you could make an argument Usopp's dodging light beams in Sabaody. I have those on screen too if you want to look at that.
Okay, yeah. We could get into that.
I mean, but are you seeing?
If you want me to, Lilo, I'll send you like the science on like how.
But
when not in a vacuum, you know, when it's bouncing off of things like glass, right?
Well,
the re-emissions of it is slower. I can send you all that, right? But by the way, just your argument just being, oh, he didn't look that deep into it, right? I could say that about anything, right?
Well, no, I'm just
light fluid or whatever. Like,
well,
that's not a real argument.
Well, Apple.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, there's just actually so much evidence that One Piece characters are light speed that like. You really have to just assume the lowest lowball interpretation for every single thing. Like, there's so many. Like, there's just actually so many different lightspeed feats. And this is like chapter 100, 200, 300 of One Piece. Let alone chapter 1,000 plus. Like, they're lightspeed, man. Even the weaklings are.
What weakling is lightspeed?
Luffy, bro. Luffy, pre-time skip Luffy is fodder. That's what I don't think you're getting. Like, pre-time skip Luffy is fodder, dude. And he's dodging light all throughout pre-time skip.
But yeah, I can send you like the science studies on it and stuff. But if you just think that like he's not looking that deep into it, like I said, like I don't see the point of continuing, right? Because then like you can literally say that about anything. Oh, he's not looking that deep into it, like. You know,
well, I mean, that's not even the point I'm making. The point I'm making is there's like literally like 20 different times where weak characters just dodge light attacks all throughout pre-time skip. Like 20 different.
This also helps like Lilo's case a little bit more. Like there's also like inconsistent speed. Like there's travel speed and there's also battle speed. And with that being said, it's like there's like a scene in Wano where like Luffy and Zoro, they're chasing after a lion. And that lion may not be light speed, but this is like beginning Wano and Zoro chasing after this lion, and then Luffy just extends his arm and catches up to the lion, right? This shows that the speed is kind of inconsistent, and Oda, he probably wasn't thinking too much about it, you know? That if you can like relate, like, you know how it can sometimes be inconsistent. Do you have a problem with that as well? Or what do you think about that?
Me or Appa?
Appa.
Oh, well, I thought you were talking about Lilos.
I was like trying to help his case because you were like, because he had said that Oda wasn't thinking too much about it, and you know this is another scenario where he wasn't thinking too much about it because the lion, that pet lion, I'm quite sure he probably wasn't light speed, right? But I can't prove that, but you know, Luffy and Zoro, they were having trouble keeping up with that lion when it comes down to like chasing it down. Luffy had to extend his hand.
Well, I don't even know if you need to use that point. Like, the reality is, like, One Piece is a very cartoonish world. Like I was saying, there's scenes where, like, Brook doesn't take lightning damage because he doesn't have skin. They can just regenerate bones by drinking milk. It's very cartoonish.
There's literally eyeballs poking out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you just think that, like, Luffy's, like, lightning attack, like, moves faster than lightning?
Luffy's lightning attack moves fast. What lightning attack are you talking about?
When like he pulls like the lightning out of the sky or whatever and shoots it down at Kaido.
Probably, yeah.
So like you would just like deny the idea that the thing that is lightning moves at lightning speed, but you wouldn't do the same, but in reverse for like light things.
The lightning feat, Luffy didn't just. Luffy threw it.
Yeah.
He threw a lightning bolt, so it's like it's his own. That's like the speed of something. So what Luffy's doing, he's grabbing lightning, turning it into rubber, and throwing it. So it's basically like how fast can Luffy throw something?
You think like the speed of him throwing is like as fast as the speed of his punches?
I mean, I don't really know. I mean maybe. I mean that does like it doesn't matter though, because what I'm saying is pre-time skip. Like, okay, let me put it like this, Appo. If Naruto had all these same feats, you would say that they're like 100 times faster than light.
You're voting.
No. I specifically like.
No, that's a fact, right? Like if Naruto did like, look, I think everyone in chat can agree with me. Every single panel I've shown here today, you replace these One Piece characters with Naruto and Sasuke. Appo saying that Naruto is like 100 times the speed of light pre-time skip. Well, I think
I wouldn't.
I think everyone would agree with that.
He definitely would.
Yes.
Wait, I just came back. Wait, Kenny, you said that or no?
Said what?
That Naruto's like pre-time skip Naruto like him as a child. It's like 100 times faster.
No, Lenny. No, that's not what happened. I'm just saying, like, so as what's basically happened is I've shown him like 10 different times where One Piece characters have dodged light while they're near death, extremely tired, weak fodder characters do it, and he's like coming up with a bunch of different arguments to say no, that's still not the speed of light. And I said, okay, how about this? If you just swap these One Piece characters with Naruto and Sasuke pre-time skip, he would say that this is speed of light, and everyone's like, oh yeah, he would. So it doesn't it doesn't have to do with the legitimacy of the feats. It just has to do with him downplaying One Piece. That's all it actually.
So you do realize that I said in the beginning that none of you guys are gonna come to a proper conclusion. You realize that, right?
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
Lead up to this.
No, that's fine. But I mean, it's just debating for the sake of fun. I don't really mind.
Okay, cool.
But I think that's something most people would agree to.
Lumos likes my arguments because like it makes him think like a few seconds more than most other people. I don't know.
Yeah, they're just fun. I just like it. It's fun.
Not bad questions. Those are good questions.
It's just fun. I like it. I don't know. But
Lumos likes actually debating and not just like echo chamber.
Whoa. Let's not act as if I don't exist, right? We all know I'm the best debater in the world.
No,
Shadow, yeah, bro. You're
right to you, King Shadow.
Yeah, King Shadow, like you versus Ben Shapiro, bro. Like I wonder who wins that.
Lilos, tell them about me.
No, no. I like debating everyone here. It's all fun, but I mean.
I'm gonna be so honest with you, right? Okay, as one of the most person who's running this server, okay, you are not the best debater. I'm sorry.
In my top 5.
It goes to like this guy named Pryor, this guy named.
I'm not even talking. Hold on, I'm not even talking. Lilos, in my top 5, like be real.
I don't know. I don't rank anyone in.
Any can beat you to debate. Kura can beat you to debate. That's 3 people so far. I even have beat you to debate.
I would debate anybody on the Gojo versus Sukuna fight, and I got Sukuna winning 10 times out of 10.
Cool. Lilos, he wouldn't even agree with you.
I
could probably beat you in that debate. I'm not saying you're the worst debater. I'm just saying sometimes when you go into things, you tend to not choose your words carefully. That's how you tend to lose debates. Therefore, I can't say you're the best debater.
That's a lie.
Lilo.
You can believe that's a lie, but I
instead of all rigmarole that you've been doing your live streams on, your next live stream should be who's the best 6th Ranger.
The best 6th Ranger, like from Power Rangers.
Yeah, like. And like we all know it's Antonio, but like it would be an interesting talk.
I'm not gonna lie, power scaling the Power Rangers would actually be very cool.
It's very fun. I'm about to start like rewatching all them. Like I started rewatching all them recently. Like and I got to Lightspeed Rescue, and oh my god, it's Carter the GOAT.
Wait, which one you on?
Lightspeed Rescue.
Yeah.
I just don't know like a streaming service that has Power Rangers.
Wait, YouTube has them all for free.
Oh, really?
Just look up insert Power Rangers, and it's all there for free.
Oh, I might have to go back and watch those. There's just a lot of different Power Rangers. Wait, what'd you say?
JJK spinoff. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, I'm excited for it. I mean, I honestly wish he had just done a prequel instead, like a Heian era prequel. That would have been more interesting than like making a Boruto.
Yeah, right. But like, I already created like a theory in my head.
Oh, where did Apple go again?
Or like, cause honestly, because you know how people say that, like, you know, Sukuna, he was a human, then he became a curse, or something entirely different. I'm willing to bet that they're pushing like the Naruto narrative and like having Sukuna to be like this person who's from space as well, you know?
I mean, that could be that could be interesting. I wish that Apple didn't leave. I wanted to ask him what he thinks about Boruto scaling.
Yeah, and then also it's the fact that like Sukuna, like Yuji's probably dead, right? How do you feel about like Yuji being compared to Gojo at the beginning of that chapter? I don't know if you.
I haven't seen like the newest stuff. Like I heard that all of chapter 1 got leaked though.
Yeah, so like essentially it was saying that is there anyone from like the current like the new generation that's gonna be able to keep up?
Wait, hold on, King Shadow. I don't want to get spoiled on it because I will actually end up reading it.
Besides any spoilers, like, you know, Sukuna Finger is still out there, at least one of them. So like, what do you think they're gonna do with that? Do you think they're gonna bring Sukuna back to explain all of this, or?
I hope so. I hope Sukuna and Gojo have a role in it in some way. But I hope they have a role in it in some way. But real quick, I wanted to ask Appo just one question real quick. Appo, have you seen Boruto as well?
Yeah, I've actually read Boruto. I really like Boruto.
I know you do.
Are you caught up with like everything in it?
Yeah, I'm fully caught up to TBV.
So like, what are your thoughts on the power scaling in Boruto? Because that to me is like the main thing that holds me back from reading it. Because I'm sure you've noticed it yourself that like Boruto has like massively eclipsed the entire previous gen. Like, I'd even make an argument that like a lot of the main cast is stronger than Hashirama now. With Boruto and Kawaki, it's not even a question. They're just immensely beyond. But
No, actually, I like what they're doing. I disagree now. I think that they're sort of retconning the power scaling and bringing it back. And here's why, right? I think they started doing this in the anime, right? Where they made like Jiraiya really strong, right? And then they further do that in the manga. By the way, manga spoilers. But Kashin Koji is like the clone of Jiraiya, right? But Kashin Koji is also able to like fight relatively with Kakashi, right? Which like obviously like.
Yeah, I agree with Shirapo right there though. Yeah, you're stating facts.
Right, like obviously, like unless you think the clone of Jiraiya for some reason is just like gotten massively stronger than Jiraiya, good for you, right? Other than that, like now the tree, like the Ten Tails, is again like another main villain, like absorbing these characters or whatever, and making like these opponents, right? Who are like Jigen level opponents, if not stronger, right? Most of them are.
They're like Jigen, or like what was that Ten Tails name? Like the main Ten Tails guy name, the person who operates as like the main Ten Tails. He I think he's called Jura or something like that.
Yeah. Jorah is the Ten Tails, right? And like Jorah's stronger.
Jorah's trouble defeating him.
Yeah, Jorah's probably stronger than like Ishiki, right?
Then it's the community like power scaling that's like messing everything up, because you even have people like assuming or like thinking Sadara is above Sasuke now, even though Sasuke has like a MS and a Rinnegan.
Well, no, here's the.
Finish up real quick so I can explain the Lelos.
Okay, yeah.
Lelos. If anything, I think they're bringing back this power scaling because obviously, Kaguya is the 10 Tails plus, right? So there's actually this like really cool idea that they're remaking Kaguya like the strongest threat again, which I really like. That like it's kind of bringing things back, making it so it's more like maybe they didn't really surpass Kaguya, right? Like there's a lot of arguments for it too. Like I don't even believe in like the whole Momo above Kaguya thing. I think there's been a lot of times coming where they're kind of retconning that idea that like Momo was stronger than Kaguya. So there's a really good argument to be made that they're actually going backwards in power and kind of like more so cementing these people under Kaguya.
Well, yeah, the problem is, like, they're going to have to retcon stuff that they wrote in part 1 as well, because, like, in part 1, they said that Code was stronger than Naruto and Sasuke at full power working together. Like, there'd be no chance that they'd be able to beat them. And then Boruto comes in and just, like, one-taps this full power Code like he's a fodder character.
Well, I still don't see the issue with that, because you could just say that, like, honestly, one, right? I personally, right, am under the belief, at least where the story is going, right, that Kaguya is stronger than Jigen, right? And if Kaguya is stronger than Jigen, you could just make the argument that, like, what we've been saying for so long is true, that, like, Naruto and Sasuke just got weaker, which isn't the craziest thing ever, right? Since they were teens and that they did lose that, like, 6 path stamp, the only thing is Sasuke kept his Rinnegan because it was already activated, but they lost the actual 6 path stamp. And then they're just not as strong as they used to be.
I mean, I was forgetting that I can touch base on real quick is the fact that first it was stated that Code was stronger than Jigen without the limiters, and once he got his limiters taken off, you also can't like forget the fact that Sasuke did scar Code when he had the limiters off as well. Like, he had made a scar and the Boruto managed to escape, so that shows you that they're bringing it back. But another thing that contradicts that is Damon. Like, what are they gonna do with him? Because, like, he sounds like there's no weakness so far.
Well, here's just what I would say. I mean, it's pretty clear that the way Boruto was written is that it was written with, like, a similar power progression that Dragon Ball Z has, where, like, the enemies keep getting stronger and stronger, and, like, now the way the story's written right now, the characters are way stronger than the previous gen was. But if they scale it back, I'd like that. Like, in my opinion, I would have liked it if they were all weaker than the part 1 characters. Like, I would have just preferred that, and you just seal Naruto and Sasuke like a Gojo situation. I wish that's what they did, but that's not how they went about it. They might be retconning things, but that was the main reason I dropped Boruto, actually. But I did read, like, I got caught up on the chapters last night. And it's actually cool. It's like, the storytelling is cool. It's just
I think people underestimate Boruto. Like, I really do like Boruto, Lilos. I think it has one of, like, a very underrated story. I think people just, like, glaze Naruto too much to be able to see how good the story of Boruto actually is.
Yeah, it's actually good.
The issue with that, Lilos, you know what's a really good story that does?
What would it be?
7 Deadly Sins, right? It has its own spin-off.
So it started great, but I haven't seen the sequel. I'm not interested in the sequel, but it did start out great. Like, it was really good until, like, the very, very end. Like, when they fight the Demon King for, like, the 15th time, then it kind of got a little ridiculous, because, like, the thing I didn't like about the 7 Deadly Sins ending, like, this will be spoilers for 7 Deadly Sins, so if anyone doesn't want to be spoiled, you should hop out right now. But in the final battle, Escanor dies for actually no reason, because Meliodas was strong enough to solo the Demon King on his own, and I wasn't a fan of that personally.
Well, wait, that's just okay. I think you should go back then, because that wasn't the point of Escanor's sacrifice. The point specifically of Escanor's sacrifice was actually to redeem himself. The reason for this was Escanor at the time, he felt useless throughout everything since he lost his grace, right? And he also had felt like he would never come to be what Merlin was. It was more like, I guess, Escanor finally, like, burnt out himself, right? Like, he couldn't do it anymore, right? Because he wasn't capable of getting Merlin. He had nothing to go for anymore. He had no more, like, goals. And he felt like he failed his team. He felt like he was useless, right? So instead, that's why he goes ahead, he calls Tame out, and then he's like, look, bro, like, can you please give me the grace? Let me fight the Demon King. Like, this is something I need to do for myself, right? And that's why he fights the Demon King. It's not like a useless sacrifice. It was to wrap up the character's ending and, like, what he actually represented and stood for with the whole sin of pride thing, right? Because his pride is what gets him killed, right? Like, his pride is the reason he dies.
Yeah, I mean, I might give it another chance, but I think I'm gonna close out the debate here for now. I'm actually probably just gonna go get some dinner. It's getting pretty late, but But yeah, this,
real quick, last thing I wanted to say about JJK before I put Kevin on the live is like Sukuna finger is still out there. So do you think they're like gonna utilize him at one point in the JJK spinoff?
yeah, I mean, I did a live stream talking about all of it in more detail, but like, I do think it will have some kind of effect. I think there will be lingering effects from the Culling games. Also, like, the last rule that Sukuna did in the Culling games was he made it so that Megumi could start the merger if he wants to. So maybe Megumi at some point did some merger stuff, and like maybe aliens are just like a result of the merger. I don't know. I want to see chapter 1 first before I like say any more like wild theories.
This is like, I feel like has to be an undeniable fact. If Sukuna comes to play, Gojo has to come to play. Like
I hope he comes back as a curse. I hope he comes back as a curse.
No, I know.
Yeah, it would be great.
Toji came back. Like there has to be another sorcerer with the same ability that like brought Toji back to life, and they just bring Gojo back to life through like his 6 eyes, and like, you know, his body is like a kind of eyes, right? Like his body isn't normal, so you know he has his soul attached. Same thing with his body. Like his body overtakes the person who like soul is trying to like come after him. Like, you know, something akin to that, like that would be dope. And then also I think there may be another 6 eyes user, possibly, only because it seems as if Yuta like died of old age and like 100 years may have already passed, you know, because Yuta grandkids are like older now. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm gonna read the chapter 1 though. But
wait, I didn't finish what I was saying to you. I'm so sorry. Real quick, just so we're clear, the 4 Knights of the Holy Apocalypse, like, it starts out with the characters being weaker than Holy Knights besides one character, and it's not till like chapter 100 plus that they get stronger than Holy Knights.
that's in the sequel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That actually could be interesting to read then, yeah.
Yeah. So like the main group, except for like 1 or 2 of them, they're all like sub-Holy Knight level for most of the story that they have so far.
Yeah, that's cool. I wish more series did their sequels like that.
And they make old Holy Knights that like you've seen in the past actually have like more story to them, and like they have like really cool battles against each other. But like it's actually interesting to see because it's like how season 1 was, where like Gil Thunder was still a threat. You know what I mean? Where like these guys are like fighting each other, and it's actually like scary because like depending on who wins means whether or not, you know, the character you like might survive or something, because they're just not strong enough to really fight Holy Knight.
That's pretty sick. Yeah, I might have to go and check it out because that actually does sound kind of cool. But all right, guys, I'm gonna close out the stream. I need to get something to eat and then go to sleep.
Okay. Lelis, before you go, I know I asked you before if you thought, you know, Luffy was planetary. Like, you do like another One Piece stream, you should definitely do like power scaling up where you think, you know, One Piece characters are at. If you think they're like island level or.
Oh yeah, I did do one before already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like let me go and find the title of it because I went into detail about it, and I went like in really specific detail about like a low ball interpretation of how strong they are, a medium ball interpretation, and a high ball interpretation. I like went into detail. I'll just find it right now. It's like, hold on. It was.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that.
It was. I think it was my Luffy versus Whitebeard debate. If I can find
I see.
Oh yeah, the Luffy versus Whitebeard. If you watch that, the whole like first hour, I just spent that whole time just explaining like how strong One Piece characters are, and then I talk about feats. Like I go into really deep detail with it. Like I use the power levels from NES Lobby. I talk about like how much stronger than someone you have to be to like low diff one shot them. I talk about like the ice continent splitting feat, and how like Luffy is like one shotting people who can split continents, stuff like that. Like I go into a lot of detail on that one. So it's like the first hour of Luffy versus Whitebeard debate.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Dope.
Do you think, hey, real quick before you go for the 100th time, do you think Luffy is stronger than Kaido?
I think like his strongest punch is probably stronger than Kaido's strongest attack, but overall I still kind of lean towards Kaido, just like extreme diffing. But I mean, it's debatable, honestly.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I need to go get something to eat, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, chat. Let me look at the YouTube chat. Nino, what's up, bro? How you doing? Yeah, this was a fun debate. This is fun. Dude, I haven't posted an actual edited video in a while, and it's starting to affect the live streams, I can tell. Because, like, when I post, like, this is some, like, insider knowledge, I guess. When I post regular videos, like, let's say I post, like, 2 or 3 edited videos in a week, right? The live streams will have, like, 100 people in them. But I haven't posted a video in, like, over a month. And so now they're only getting like 40 people in them, and I'm like, yeah, that's the effect of like not posting. Like, you actually have to do both. So I need to. I might take a break from streaming and just focus on getting this next video out. I have a bunch of videos just sitting on my computer that I just haven't edited, and I gotta finish them. So, but yeah, guys, that's it for this stream. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It was a fun stream. I've said it before. Like, I just love doing streams, man. They're fun. They're very fun. But I actually have to edit a video and post it. So, you know what? Maybe this weekend I just get one posted for you guys. But thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate the views in the comments. And I'll see you guys on the next one.